That's crap.
Baloney.
Bullshit.
Hogwash.
Baloney. Bullshit.
Baloney.
Bullshit.
Rubbish.
Bullshit.
Crappy.
Mega crap. Bullshit.
Everything that guy just says, bullshit. Thank you.
All right. Welcome to the BS podcast. Really, it's the bullshit podcast. 30 minutes of bullshit. We're never going to do 30 minutes of bullshit. Maybe one time I have a little bit of plan for that, but other than that, we're going to keep going. We are talking bullshit today as we talk every day. I am Jason, and this is...
I'm Shay.
And that's Shay, the co-host. We've added a new co-host to our podcast. She's our special co-host because sometimes she may not make it here. Sophia's on every friggin' podcast we do, so we decided to go ahead and add her.
She's on a few of them,
No, not every one, but sure. We'll go with that. Sure.
All right.
Hello, world.
All right. And then our special guest is a good friend of mine. His name is Nick Lohn, spelled Lohn. In case anybody's looking for him on Facebook, I'm sure he appreciated that shout out. He is currently going to school to become like a computer engineer or programmer. He hasn't decided yet. I met him working and building haunted houses. Yeah. So, Nick, introduce yourself.
Hello.
All right. So,
Building haunted houses should give you some perspective on what type of guy Nick is.
yeah.
Did you ever meet a Cliff Allen, Nick?
Cliff Allen?
No, different haunts. Different haunts.
Yeah,
Different
it's
haunts.
totally.
We'll talk about that later.
Different
we will
companies.
talk about that.
We will, yeah.
You are deleting that out of the podcast.
Well,
Nah. We'll leave that in.
All right. So,
What are we talking
anyway,
about today?
All right. So, Nick, what is our topic today?
So for me personally, I think we should talk about bathroom etiquette, or at least, just bathroom stories.
So I'm
Good
not.
one.
What is bathroom etiquette?
Wait, well, no, hold on.
Like Webster's definition, or
Yeah,
what the
like
interpretation
what's the Webster's
of it?
definition of bathroom etiquette? Like,
Hold on, should we Google
what
this?
is this?
Boop, 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 boop.
Bathroom etiquette is acting properly in the bathroom, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And I
What
want
is
you to
properly?
stop interrupting me. Pay attention. Look up and
Okay,
stop
all
looking
right.
at your fucking phone.
I'm trying to look this up.
No, do not. Listen, bathroom etiquette is acting politely in the bathroom. I actually knew this was going to be the topic. I am very excited about this topic. I fucking hate people in the bathroom. I think they're rude. I think they're smelly. I think they don't clean themselves. Listen, I don't care if you're taking a dump and you stink, but when you're talking on the fucking phone, it pisses me off. So
Why
I'm
don't you-
excited. I'm excited about this topic, and you quit interrupting me too because I told you guys ahead of time I wanted this time because I'm so fucking pissed
So
off.
much for making this sound candid, Jason.
Yeah, no, listen. I didn't tell anybody what I was going to say, but I am very emotional. I'm very.
tell us.
I am very.
Hold-
I'm very.
Can I just-
No.
I just
Let
want
me
to give you
finish.
the quick definition.
You can. As soon as I'm done, let me finish. I wanted to do my thing. I'm doing my thing. Listen, I was excited about this. I asked Nick specifically to come in for this because we spent hours on this topic alone, and I am ready to get this out. I want to thank the fact that Nick's here, that Sophia and Shay are here with me, that they're dealing with me, not letting them talk, just so I can bitch about this because this fucking pisses me off. So
real quick,
Go
before you go on your tangent,
That was
can
my
I
tangent.
I was going to say,
can I
this
tell-
is now the Jason podcast. Jesus.
Can I tell the two stories I have, and then I'll let you guys go on?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can go around the room. I just wanted to get out my quick.
Okay.
Like, I am passionate about this. This is important to me. This topic in particular, more than any topic we've
In
ever
so
talked
many
about.
words.
So then let's go around the room. We'll start with Jason. And then we'll have Nick
No,
talk.
I think Nick and I should go last. I think you can go first, and then we'll. I think we should pepper in Sophia because Sophia has the woman's
Well,
perspective.
what if we do like a round table type where like each person tells a story until we're out of stories?
We'll be going forever, but all right, fine. You can go first, Shay.
Okay, well, I've only got a couple. So one thing, my dad is a lunatic when it comes to the bathroom. So if the toilet paper isn't done up instead of under,
The correct way. But
he goes nuts.
That's because he understands
like-
bathroom
That's
etiquette.
true. That's true.
No, so some people have their toilet paper underneath because cats will come up and do.
By the way, he's
unroll
making
it, right?
cute little handsy cat motions.
Yeah, well, that's what cats will do. and so my dad will literally come into your house, take a shit, and oh fuck, this is reminding me of other things bathroom related. We're gonna be here
You
all
only thought
night.
you had one story. Everybody has stories.
It's a trauma we share.
So he'll like go to people's houses, take a shit, and then like come out and be like, "Hey, I fixed your toilet paper for you." And then like he will do that. And then people will be like, "Oh, well, our cat goes doot 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 doot," and
Again,
then
cute little
he'll be
hand
like, "No,
plug.
you're still wrong. I fixed your bathroom for you."
As
And
I
so
left a stinky ass shit in your
One-
bathroom.
one time in particular, because I was
Went
living
out.
with my dad for a little bit until recently, he got onto us about it. So I took the bathroom to the toilet paper roll, and like I took a knife and I screwed out the middle of the toilet paper roll and stuck it in that way, so you can't unroll it. Like it's just like sitting in the middle, and I was supposed to be for him, but my mom was actually over that weekend when they found it, and she was like, "Why was your toilet paper like that, Shay? I don't understand." And then I had to explain the whole thing. I was expecting him to have a blow up about it, but he didn't.
Did he never catch it?
No, I think it was just my mom, and it wasn't intended for her at all. I think it was one of those like surprise visits she did. Anyway, my story's done. It was not that interesting.
I think it's pretty funny. I guess next would be Nick.
Okay. I mean, I have that one specific story that I haven't told you, but I was very excited about because you also have not heard that. But so for the record, I have IBS. I think Jason could also back me up on having, intestinal issues.
Okay, so I haven't announced exactly, but I have Crohn's, and when I first got diagnosed, they actually thought I had colitis. Colitis is the same thing as Crohn's, but it only stays in your large intestines. And whoops, doctors thought it was a good idea to take out my large intestine. So essentially, they cut it out, and then they took my small intestine and plugged it up to my butthole, and everything works fine now. It's just a little faster. We would say I have a baby butt. But go ahead.
So,
Yeah.
question about
I
that.
don't know why we'd call it a
I
baby
have
butt.
to.
Go ahead.
Did you get a nice like settlement because of that?
No, because
That's
when you
kind of a
go
big
for
fuck up.
surgeries and stuff like that, you actually
Consent.
Yeah, you
consent
sign
to them
them.
fucking
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So I could have.
He didn't know better. Yeah.
And they didn't know better either. They weren't trying to screw me by any means. When I say I have a baby
But
butt,
they
really I have a
did.
baby digestive system. Shit just goes through me quicker.
Well, if anything, we would, like sue the universe or whatever creationism is for birthing him with an autoimmune disease. That's who we would sue.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I have IBS, but I also, as Jason would say, am a pretty chill person, but I have anxiety, which my panic attacks are basically just, you have to go to the bathroom right now. And it's especially worse in situations where that would be inconvenient. And so
Sure.
just the thought of, I need to go, or what if this does happen, just escalates it until it is a real problem. So I guess the first story, and Jason wouldn't know this, is the first time we went to our new apartment, I accidentally locked myself out. Oh no, I can hear myself. I locked myself out on accident, and my roommate had left, and I had to call an Uber to pick me up to take me to work because I couldn't get to all my keys and stuff were in the apartment, and so I had to we'd been there less than a month. Find the most convenient out of the way dumpster and do my dark deed behind it.
Wait.
And then hop into a man's Uber and take me to work.
Wow.
What did you use to wipe, my dude?
No.
That's what I want
An
to
old
know.
pizza box. In
An
the
old
dumpster.
pizza box.
For real?
No, there was actually
Sock.
like
Yeah, there you go.
no, there was actually conveniently paper towels in the a whole roll of them that someone had opened but not used.
Are you sure?
Wow, that was meant to be then. It was manifest destiny.
I mean, paper towels are not the best thing to use.
Hey, it's better than a pizza box.
It's not the worst
sure.
thing. It's not the worst. Wow, how are we supposed to top that story?
Oh,
That
I
was
haven't
beautiful.
gone yet.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, don't even challenge Jason on that one. Yeah. But that was a good one.
Yeah, it's
That was
just a
good.
gross one. I do have maybe the weirdest etiquette one ever.
Awesome.
We'll
that I,
get to
Go
that I still
for
haven't
it.
told Jason
Oh, we're
yet.
gonna-
No. Let Nick tell it.
You want to tell it now? We're going to go to you. It was your birthday. It was your toilet.
No. Let's let Nick tell another story.
Okay, well, settling because this might be a little long. So, as Jason kind of alluded to, I have a history or a luck or something with having weird experiences in public restrooms, particularly my work restroom. And it's not, I don't work at a truck stop, but you might be.
Well, no, I think actually we should point this out. We're not going to say which law firm he works at, but dude works at a law firm.
Yeah.
Right?
They should know better.
I don't work at a truck stop, but it seems like it if you just go by the bathroom. So some weird stuff's happening there. But the most recent one happened fairly recently, like a couple of months ago. So to start the story, I'm in the bathroom. Our bathroom at my work is pretty small, but it's long, and it's kind of like a cave where it's kind of dark in there. And then there's the 2 stalls and then the handicap stall. It's not labeled like that, but that's what it is as the bars and stuff. So I'm in the middle stall. And just for reference, if one of them is occupied, it's obvious. Like there should be no reason you need to like knock on it or whatever.
Sure, you see the feet or
the doors hang open unless they're in use, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Like
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like half open.
You don't have to knock on them or anything like that.
It's just immediately obvious.
Gotcha.
So I'm in the bathroom, just living my life. When
taking a shit. I want to say taking a shit. Go ahead.
When I hear someone enter the bathroom, because I mean it's a pretty small and it's echoey. You hear the door open, and then normally you hear them walk into one of the stalls, close the door, and stuff like that. But I don't hear any of that. I just hear the door open, and then someone walks in and stops. And I don't hear anything. So I think maybe they walked in, saw that someone else was in the bathroom, and are just, shy bladder or whatever. And we're like,
sure.
I can't do it with someone in here. So time
happens
passes.
to the best of us.
What? Go ahead.
Oh, it just happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So time passes in minutes, not seconds. And then I hear footsteps again. So this person was standing in the front of the bathroom, like, maybe they were looking in the mirror or something.
Do you have like cracks in between the partitions to where you could actually see like in through it?
No. You can see when people walk by. You can't really see them.
Okay.
But I'm saying I could
No, I was more so getting at, was this person standing there and like watching you?
I was in the middle, so I don't think you can see the feet in that one.
Oh, no, I'm talking about through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? When there's a little gap in between the partitions,
I'm saying I never
you.
heard them walk over. They were,
I see.
Just, noise-wise, I could tell that they were they hadn't moved from the front of the door.
Weird.
So I assumed that they had been looking in the mirror, and so I immediately go on our a group chat of mine and go like, "Hey guys, something weird just happened," and then I have to immediately stop because of what happened next. So
wait. Can I guess? I have a guess.
No, let him.
No. Here's my
Yeah,
guess.
please finish the story.
No.
Let him finish. No, 2 against 1. Me and Shay are together.
Right,
no, stop talking. Let Nick finish.
I gotta say it.
Now that Sophia is a full-time member of the show, I think it's going to be 2 against 1 a lot.
Thank you, Shay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're not here, so...
Do you know what? You're going to go off on like a 50-minute tangent anyway, so let's let Nick tell
Just trust me.
the story.
My question is, Nick, did their phone ding when you clicked on when you went into the group chat?
Are they... Okay, well, the process of elimination.
No.
Just checking. I just had to know.
It wasn't a friend. That'd be weird. They can't even get into my building. It's locked. So they go to the urinal. Like, I can tell footstep-wise. They walk over to the urinal. I hear the unzip and everything. And then I hear, like, them peeing, right? Obviously. And then I hear what I described then as noises of surprise. Like non...
Yeah,
What is a noise of surprise?
Like, non-verbal, but like...
Like guttural? Or
like,
what?
like...
Whoa?
I need to stop laughing at this.
Hold on. I gotta hear the noise.
Like, okay, I'm gonna do a couple here. Or like a. Huh?
Oh, no.
Like,
are you sure that wasn't a fart? Like a.
No, whoever this was had like kind of like a raspy voice, like you could tell. So there was like a little rasp to it, like the.
That could still be a fart. Like I was like trying to get out, like. Oh my god!
All right.
So I'm like, what the fuck? to myself as I'm trying to like frantically type what's happening. And he pees, you know, doing these like occasional like, like just to himself or something. And then I hear like the sharpest one where it's like, oh, like pain a little bit, like, oh, I didn't expect that or something. And so also his stream stops at that point. And I don't.
He was really paying attention to this.
And I don't hear him zip up or anything, but then I do hear him like waddling, like the footsteps, like a shuffle, because he's moving towards the stalls now. And that is immediately when I closed my phone, so that like if it was, you know, open, he couldn't see through the light through the crack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I immediately closed my phone and I'm just like, oh no, oh no. And so he goes to the first stall door, so the one to my left, the closest to the door one, and then he like I hear him push the door open like gingerly, and then he audibly observes whether or not someone was in there. Like he's like, oh, no one's in here.
Was this Yoda, dude?
What?
Well, he didn't have that same pattern, and so he goes to the next one, mine, and I feel like I hear him push against the door, and then he goes, oh, someone's in there. Like almost exactly
that
like that.
That is so creepy. What the fuck?
Like he was surprised that the one closed door was taken, and so then he goes
like fucking Mr. Bean or something.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly. And so he goes to the last one, which is like the huge one, and so he pushes open the door and he goes, "No one's in here." What? Just like he's so confused. And so he finally goes into this one and he closes the door and he locks it. And then he just starts like talking, like murmuring to himself where I can't hear what he's saying. But at that point, I'm like, I have to get out of here. So I'm like pulling my pants up and stuff. But he's just like murmuring to himself. Like he's in the Jinx or something, like he's Robert Durst or whatever, just like talking to himself in the bathroom. And so I immediately left. And
I was going to say, how long did you stay there? Had you stopped taking a shit by this point? Or are you I'm intrigued, I'm just going to sit here and listen?
Yeah. So at that, like the moment you started pushing on the doors, I was like, okay, I'm leaving the moment. The moment I hear the other door close, I'm leaving. And so I got out and I was like, guys, holy shit, you'll never believe what just happened.
And so you basically told all your friends about this guy. That's great.
Do you think it was a client or somebody that worked there?
Okay, so I would have recognized the voice had it been someone. So it has to have been either one of the maintenance people, like someone who worked like one of the vendors, or a client or something like that.
So it's a public restroom then, so it is open to your clients to use?
It is open. No. Well,
not
yes.
staff only is what I'm getting
at. It's not like if you can get into the building, if we let you in the building for whatever reason.
You can use it. Yeah, so it's a public for that space.
Exactly.
It's not staff only. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you not wait like in some inconspicuous space outside the door and capture this guy? You already had the chat going. Why would you not get a picture of this dude?
or like when he said like, no one's in here, like just like gingerly like walk out and be like, hey, I have arrived. I am here. I'm gonna wash my hands.
You should have been like,
again, that violates bathroom etiquette. I don't want him to know.
There are times to violate bathroom etiquette, and we'll get into that.
That would have been an appropriate time. Yes,
I have a time that's okay to break bathroom etiquette, but yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
By the way, we spent hours talking about this shit. He has more, but what do you got, Sophia?
Okay, so what's really interesting is that actually, so what I do in my day job as a commercial interior designer, you probably don't know, guys, anybody that has more pictures of bathrooms in their camera roll on their phone than me.
You clearly don't know guys who are into bathroom porn.
Well, okay. Excusing the weirdo fetishes, right? Like legitimately for a professional purpose, I have a million pictures of bathrooms in my phone.
Fair. I would just like to point out to our audience, it's okay if you have a bathroom fetish. We still love you. We don't think you're a weirdo. Go ahead.
No, you can be a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. It's okay. We all have our kinks. Like, that's fine. There's no judgment there.
Your kinks are okay. That's all we're saying.
Hey, like, weirdos are not necessarily a derogatory term.
Like, leave children out of it.
Yeah. No children. No children, no animals.
That ain't cool. Yeah, no children, no animals.
And no unconsenting people. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, glad we.
I mean, yes means yes and no means no. Unless
The more you know.
No means yes.
Okay, actually,
In which case, banana
hold
means
up.
no.
Sometimes no does mean yes, but you have to know when that's happening, and it has to
And
be
in that
agreed.
case, banana
yes
means
has to
no.
happen beforehand to know that the no means yes.
Listen, this is the perfect segue, actually.
Sorry.
I wasn't going to tell the story, but now that we're actually talking about consent, I am going to tell a bathroom story. Okay.
not
So,
this one.
so generally, I'm pretty aware of my surroundings, and I'm not really paranoid, but Jason seems to think that I should be more paranoid than I am, but I don't live in fear.
And this story says why she should be.
No, listen though. In all of my life, and I go out a lot. I used to go out a lot more, like, go out to bars, drinking with friends. Like I've been around the local area in the club scene, right? I've never once ever felt uncomfortable anywhere that I was going, like feeling threatened. But this one time, I went to a local bar, and at the time I was in college and I was working a retail job. So like I had like a Tuesday off where I was in class, and class didn't start until 1. So I'm like out on like a Monday night, right? So nobody's there. It's just a very handful of people. So I go to the bathroom. I'm in the women's bathroom, and I go pee, and I get out. And as I'm walking to the sink, this guy who's like huge, just stocky, tall, like a big guy, not fat or anything. He's just like a big guy. He comes and walks into the women's restroom. And I'm like, dude, like men's is over that way. Like you just came into the women's restroom. And he's like, oh shit, did I? And he's like all drunk, and he just like continues to walk into his stall. And he proceeds to take a piss in this stall without even closing the door. And so then he turns around, and I'm washing my hands, and he looks at me and makes like a lewd comment to me. And he starts to walk closer and closer. And I had like this instantaneous like fight or flight moment where I'm like, fuck, this is going to go bad. Like I just fucking know it. And I've never really had that feeling like legitimately ever before. And just as he's walking up to me and closer and closer and closer, this other chick walks into the bathroom, and dude just books it out of there. And I'm like, and I looked at her and I was like, thank you. That guy's a fucking creep. Like, I don't know what was going to happen, but you just like literally, like maybe literally saved my ass. Like seriously. So I went up to the bartender and told him, and they didn't really do anything about it. And then as I saw him leaving, he was there with his girl. And as he's leaving, he does this like creepy little wave to me goodbye. And I'm just like, fuck you. You're a fucking predator. So that's one bathroom story, from a woman's perspective. The other woman's perspective for bathrooms is that we have a common belief that women are just like cleaner and tidier and neater than men. That's bullshit. Like women's
Especially with
restrooms
women's bathrooms.
are fucking disgusting, dude. Like we try to act like, oh no, like that's gross, and we're germaphobes, and we want to be.
Women don't poop, right?
Yeah,
Do
women don't fart, women don't shit, like none of that, right? And we smell like roses. Okay, all right. You want to talk about just shit that you have to deal with? We got to deal with shit, and guess what else we have to deal with?
Tampons.
Period blood. Oh, and you know what's worse is the fucking clots,
Oh,
dude. Dude, I cannot tell you how many times I've been into a stall, and I literally look on the side wall of a partition, and there's like a streak of like a fucking clot just like on it, like streaked diagonally down the side. Like they pulled out the tampon and it went like poof, like it was explosive out of that shit. Yeah.
This isn't a story, but like I had a roommate whose ex-girlfriend, like, man, you'd lift up the toilet seat and there'd just be blood all under the toilet seat.
Like, how do you not notice that? Like clean it up. Like, it's not that fucking hard. Or like blood on the toilet seat. Like, dude, really? Like, come on, man.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to judge. It's fine.
I mean, I've never been in a women's restroom, but the blood thing, that's happened to me, and my guess was hemorrhoids.
Oh yeah.
Because pretty consistently for about 2 weeks, one of the large stall at the end was always splattered in blood. to the
Yeah,
point
just
where
clean that up.
I told the front desk to be like, you need to talk to the maintenance people because I think this is a biohazard.
Yeah, no shit.
Someone's just
yeah.
going in there and not cleaning their
Seriously,
own
even
self.
with period blood, like, what if somebody is fucking HIV positive or some shit? Like, seriously, like, it's just, so I'm just, my point is that because you guys have not been in women's restrooms, you should know that, like, it's not just men's restrooms. Women's restrooms are gross, too.
Fair enough. I have dropped having Crohn's, when I've had a really bad flare, that definitely has left blood, like, everywhere. Like, it's bad and it's painful, and I always clean it up.
Right.
Every single time. I'll tell you, do you guys want a funny one? You want a sad one? You guys can pick.
Well, after all of that sadness with Sophia, I'm sorry that happened to you, by the way.
I know. Well, you were talking about consent. I really wasn't even going to tell that story, but then I was like, fuck, bathrooms, lack of consent,
Yeah,
creepy dudes. Nick's story, I was like, it just seemed to fit.
Please give me a happy one, Jason.
All right, let's
Happy,
see.
gross bathroom.
Happy gross bathroom. All right. Oh, you know what? Aaron's going to be on the show. He'll appreciate this one. So I believe in bathroom etiquette. I think it's very important. I think this is going to make Nick cringe.
Okay.
So this is against all etiquette rules, but because I know
What men etiquette rules? We're going to preface it with that.
Fine. Men etiquette
Women don't
rule.
have this rule.
Okay, so we don't really talk in the bathroom. That's an etiquette rule. But what I did to Aaron
Oh, you
was,
don't play battle shits?
No. Hey, listen. I do in particular situations. We will get to that.
I think
But
maybe Nick's guy was trying to play
here's-
battleship.
Here's the funniest shit I've ever done in a restroom. Aaron happened to be walking out, and he was coming out of a stall while I was headed into the stall, and I just looked at him very seriously, straight in the eye, and was like, "Thanks for keeping it warm, buddy." and just walked in and
It's a good one.
did my business. That's the only time. Like if it's for comedy's sake, I'm okay with breaking a little bit of etiquette.
Well, too, if it's your friend, like you guys are friends.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
it's
I
not
had-
a stranger.
If it hadn't been Aaron, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have done it. But what's funny is like a week later, and I hadn't told anybody this. I was walking to the bathroom, and the guy who sits next to me at work did the same fucking thing to me right when I was coming out. So
Paying it forward.
Yeah, I know. I totally got paid forward, and he didn't even know that happened. So that's pretty funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, women don't have that rule. Just for the record, like we'll have full on conversations in the stalls, or be like, "Hey, you have a fucking tampon?" Be like, "Yeah, here you go." And like
Yeah.
pass it underneath. Like we just don't have that etiquette
I'd like
rule.
to. Can I go over some etiquette rules real quick, so at least we have something to
Wipe the seat.
All right.
Put the seat down.
Right.
Wipe. Okay.
Yes, thank you on that one too.
If you piss on the seat, clean it the fuck up. It's pretty simple.
Be
If
a
you
sweet
do-
and wipe the seat.
If you do anything on the seat, because it is not relegated to piss,
Sure, sure.
Fair.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything on the
Hemorrhoid
seat,
blood.
wipe that shit up.
shit itself.
Shit.
If you look down and you see your pubes, clean
Pubes,
that
yeah.
shit up. It's not a big deal. Clean it up.
How does that
If
even
you-
happen?
Shit falls out. Like shit falls out. Fine. I'm okay with
Oh,
that.
so they're anal hairs.
They could be
Well,
anal hairs. They
not-
could be.
If you're as hairy as I am, like it could just be my leg hair. Like just
Okay.
the removal of pants rubs the hairs off.
So Nick is also known as hair pants, and it's a literal translation. That's not It's not like it kind of looks like hair pants. Nick's bottom half is hair, and what's even funnier is
We
his
should
top
have had
half.
him on male grooming.
We should have. On the top half, he has no hair. So how the fuck does that happen?
Whoa. My glorious, I'm insulting this glorious beard.
Okay, we're not counting the beard. I'm
Okay,
talking about
yeah,
like
you got the
like,
face
he
going
does
on
have
there.
he does have a glorious beard, but he does not have any. You're not really having any chest hair, correct? Yeah. So no chest hair, but all of a sudden, fucking hair pants. But
You're a biological anomaly.
It's
Like
like-
maybe you'll
what's it?
grow into your
A
chest hair.
satyr, you know?
maybe a a cryptid had sex with one of your family members way back when, and you're just carrying over. But so that's one rule: is clean your shit up. Anything, piss, shit, whatever it is, clean up the stall
I mean,
before you
just
go out.
if you like shave, don't leave your
Thank you,
beard
that
hairs
too.
in the sink.
Yeah,
Yes, for
clean
every
out-
woman out there, we thank you for not doing that. Thank you.
So clean out the sink. The other one is
Put the seat down. It's not a fight worth having.
Dude,
Right.
I've fallen into, not Jason, actually Jason's excellent at this. He never leaves the seat up, but I had an ex that would, and I'd literally like almost fall in the toilet if I went to go like take a piss in the middle of the night and it's dark. Yeah, that was not fun.
ding ding ding. Another story. So
Damn it.
so you want to know how you learn not to leave the seat up? You leave the seat up before when you go to take a leak to go to bed, and you go to bed and you wake up and you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and you sit down. That is why I never leave the seat up on the toilet.
Empathy, man. You can actually fully accurately sympathize.
Go ahead, Shay. I know you have something for this.
It's my turn. I've got two. They're really short, so is that okay?
Oh, we were going to go through etiquette and then go into stories. I didn't mean to bump into the story.
Oh. No.
Okay, so the other etiquette.
More etiquette,
right.
and then I'll tell my stories.
We're going to go down a quick list, or as fast as we can go list. We'll try not to interrupt it.
Also, so far, this has only been for home stuff, but that's also true in public.
This is for any restroom.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so wash your fucking hands and dry them off. If you're smart and there's paper towels there, use that to open and close the handles on the door. Respectful.
Also,
put a trash can by the door.
Don't let the trash can overflow. Push that shit down.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Don't
too.
leave the paper towels in the sink.
Yeah.
Or leave it on the floor if it drops out. Yeah, pick it up, put it in there, smush it down.
If you're walking to the bathroom with a buddy, because sometimes we don't go to the bathroom, men don't go to the bathroom together, but sometimes it happens. You pass the sink, you shut the fuck up. You do not talk to me. This is my personal time, people. I'm trying to take a piss. I'm trying to take a shit.
So the sink is like the Mendoza line?
Yes, the sink is the Mendoza line. Shut the fuck up.
You can do a head nod.
Yes,
you can do a
head nods are okay. Head nods are okay. Keep your eyes forward.
And then a little.
Yeah, you can do that. If you're taking a piss, eyes forward, sir. You do not need to see me. It's not important to you. Eyes forward. Look, Shay's freaking out.
Shay's got something about that.
He's got a story for that. We'll get to it. I promise. So eyes forward.
I know. I'll get there. It's
Maybe
okay.
the
No
looker
words,
or the
but
lookie.
If you have to, a quick, like that guy did.
No, I think that guy was breaking etiquette. If he was alone, fine. The other thing is, motherfucker, so here's what I told you about times to break bathroom etiquette. If you talk on your cell phone and I can shit loud, I will shit as loud as I can because I want everybody to know you're on the phone in my personal private space of taking my shit. Just knock it the fuck off.
Not just yours, just
on
everybody.
Top of that,
I agree.
Don't watch your YouTube videos while you're taking a shit, please. And if you do, wear headphones.
YouTube,
I don't want to
music,
hear.
I don't want to hear any of it. I agree.
I don't even
I don't want to
take
hear
my phone into
PewDiePie
the
while I'm taking a
bathroom.
shit.
Yeah, I want to pretend I'm alone
Yes.
there while I do my dark deeds.
Yes,
Dark
Solitude.
deeds.
Agreed.
Dark deeds.
Do not comment on somebody else's shit. Like if they're dude,
Like, you
fine.
okay
That's
in
fine.
there?
and I know
That's battle
I have
shits.
fools. I have fools at work. I work with, and I don't talk to anybody. I keep myself. But I happen to like these guys a lot. And they've if I make the mistake of going in the bathroom and these two fools are in the bathroom every time, and I can't take a quiet shit. It's no
I can vouch for that. He cannot.
It's medically not possible for me to take quiet shit.
Yep.
And if I have a house full of people, I will go use the farthest restroom away because I respect.
He's polite.
I'm
Yeah.
being polite, and it's also like I don't like it. I get it. I don't like making that noise. I don't think you should have to listen to it. But if I'm forced,
or smell it.
right, or smell it, but if I'm forced into a public restroom and I'm taking a shit and it makes noise, shut the fuck up. I don't care. Like, don't try to make me feel like they'll be like, oh,
They
that's
comment?
They do. They'll be like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
that's
that's a good
breaks-
one.
but
Push
that-
that one out.
But that breaks your like Mendoza line of past the sink.
Right. Bathroom
That's
fucking
different,
etiquette.
though.
Well, that's just rude regardless if there wasn't even that rule. Like,
yeah.
I could never
You just-
imagine with a woman, like, that's like we said, women don't shit, right? So if I'm in a stall and I hear a woman like rip one or she's having a tough shit, I'm going to be like, oh, fuck. We're
See,
just
that's
going to
different,
pretend that I don't hear that, and because I wouldn't want someone to comment on
Yeah.
that for me.
Some of these
Oh,
rules,
it's hilarious when like you're taking a shit and the next guy's like, "Don't worry, man, we're gonna get through this together."
Right. Shut up. I'm getting through it. Shut the fuck
It's
up.
funny.
this isn't for an audience. I don't need your commentary. But like that one in particular,
I don't know. My
just
shits are for an
can't-
audience.
Awesome.
I just can't fathom the idea would never occur to me to address it. And
No.
I don't understand how it could have popped into anyone else's head.
I don't
ever.
either.
You know how fucked up it is?
So rude.
Is one guy's on the left of me in a stall and the other one's at the urinal to the right of me and I'm in the stall in the middle. So they're commenting from both sides. So it's fucking, I'm just like, thank God, like honestly, thank God because of my issues, I shit fast, and I am in it. Like, it will be loud, but it will be quick. It will be like a fucking gunshot, and I will get in there and get out, and they'll comment, and I'll comment back because I don't want to.
You're
fucking...
hoping you get out fast enough where they can't see who it is.
Oh yeah, I sit
You're
in
like, wash
stalls.
my hands real
I sit in
quick.
stalls. Like, I hope to be in the bathroom alone. I will sit in the stall and wait for a minute to be in the bathroom alone.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
And
I think everyone does.
Sometimes it can't happen. I get it,
Sure.
and I gotta go. Like, I'm gonna ship. Like, the way my new medical rearrangement works for me is I will shit my pants if I don't go to the bathroom. It's just
and
the way it is.
that's totally fine, and people just need to be empathetic to that.
Right.
Like,
I don't
tough
need
shit.
you. I don't even need you to be empathetic. I just
Literally.
need you to shut the fuck up.
That's
so I can
being
take my
empathetic.
shit.
So that shutting the fuck up is being empathetic.
Fair enough. All right, Shay, you are allowed to. I think have we covered everything?
Is that all
I
the
think so.
bathroom etiquette?
Do you have any?
Just like
I think so.
Good.
be cool, man.
So I just have
Don't be a
one
dick.
one
Just be chill.
quick thing to
Be
add to
excellent
that.
to each other.
That one of the things that when I actually did Google what bathroom etiquette was, the definition is that essentially, so bathroom etiquette refers to the set of rules which an individual needs to follow while using public restrooms or office toilets. Make sure you leave the restroom clean and tidy for the other person. So if
Boy Scout rules.
it's the golden rule of toilets. If you wouldn't take a shit or a piss in it, don't leave it like that for the next person.
Oh, okay. This isn't necessarily a bathroom etiquette story, but at fucking where I go to school, right? The bathroom I always use, because one of the buildings is under construction, the closest one, the men's bathroom, and it's only the men's bathroom, is always flooded wet for some reason, and I don't know why.
Leaking out of the base, maybe?
Everywhere. The sink and the toilets. One of the toilets someone destroys almost without fail. I've never seen it work. So as far as I'm concerned, there's only the one stall.
All right. So that brings up two more pieces.
That's terrible.
One
you need to
is
get a plumber out there.
Flush your fucking toilet. Make sure everything goes down.
Yeah, multiple times.
And if you're
Courtesy
at someone's
flushes.
house, and if you own a house or everybody lives at a house, you should have a toilet brush in your bathroom at all times.
And a plunger. Yep.
So that a guest, if they do happen to stuff it up, and I don't have the
to
possibility.
ask. Do you have a plunger?
Yeah,
because
just
it's embarrassing.
Yeah, no one wants to see it. I have plugged toilets at other people's houses. Everything comes out of me in liquid, so it's not me, it's your fucking plumbing.
That's lovely.
Hey man, that's just the way it is. But so I'm not busting it. It's your plumbing, but I don't want to go out there and tell you that. And I am
It's not my
courteous.
shit, it's your plumbing.
It is your plumbing because I don't have anything in my shit. But anyway, so the other thing is I don't want to leave a mess. So I will happily, if I take a shit and because basically I'm saying I have diarrhea whenever I go, if something doesn't get washed off by the toilet when I flush it, I'll clean that shit. I'm not going to leave that behind for you. But you have to have enough respect in your household to have something there for me to do it.
Sure.
So
sure.
that's-
I think
Please
that's
have
fair.
extra
Yeah.
rolls.
And the
too.
final one is if you use all the toilet paper, replace the motherfucking toilet paper. It's very simple. Mm-hmm. All right. Shay, I know you have stories. I'm going to give you your story time. I just want to make sure we had covered etiquette. If other etiquette items come up, we will talk about them. And if you
Yes.
and if you want to
Wash
tell
your
us
hands.
about some etiquette that we have missed, please feel free to email us at, where did they email us, Shay? Because I always fuck it up.
It is 30-minute bspodcast@gmail.com.
So that's
Minute, not plural, right? Minute, not minutes.
minute and
30 minute.
and it's 30. But go ahead, Shay,
Yes.
with your story.
Also, wash your hands. I
Yes,
don't know
wash
if
your
you-
hands.
I-
Yes,
I
yes,
did.
yes,
I
wash your
covered
hands.
that was one of the first ones.
Okay. So a couple of things. One, to the talking to people in the toilet. So one of my most horrid, and I will never forget it. I don't know if it was necessarily horrid because in hindsight I laughed, but when it happened it was something. Hold on, I need a moment.
Collect yourself.
Oh, it's that,
It's okay.
It's that
You're
deep
right.
up.
You're right.
So
You're right.
I was in middle school, which is for me the worst years of my life.
It's for
I
everybody, not
didn't-
just you, man. It's
Yeah, well, I mean, high school was great. So I'm taking a piss, and it's after track. And I didn't want to be in track in the first place. I want to just say that. I had friends that were like, hey, you should join track with me. I was a slow fat kid. It was all bad.
Shay's
So
not.
I'm sitting
Shay's
there
no
taking
longer
a
the slow
piss.
fat
She
kid.
is not a fat kid at all.
All right, I just wanted to
for
throw
the
that
record
out
for the audience.
He grew up,
Yes.
and his belly.
I'm not a kid
You know how
anymore.
they say when you grow up, your fat will fall off. Like you'll
Yes,
lose
his
that
baby fat. Yeah.
Shay don't.
He
Shay,
has filled out very nicely, and along with the
I still
beard.
got some cheeks.
Yeah, he's
Anyway,
still got the cheeks. But all
they're
right, go ahead.
cute.
Sorry.
When do
So
I
I'm
get
taking
my
a piss,
baby fat?
and I'm sitting there, and this kid that I don't really know, but he's one of the fastest kids on the team. He's in the stall. He's like, so like, you know how like you never go in the middle one because the middle one's the one you don't go in as like when you're boys, right? Like it's less of a thing when you're a man, like people don't care. And by the way, when I was working under the thumb, people would go right next to you all the time. And I was like, what the hell?
What is
What-
working under
under
the
the
thumb? You're
thumb?
gonna have to explain
Yeah, what
that
is
so
that?
people understand. I get
I
it.
used to do AV for Facebook. So, under AVT Productions, they're great.
Oh, because he's a big shot.
Anyway, so you don't, so like you sit in one stall and then you leave one in between and then you go in the next one. And you're not supposed to go in the middle stall, right? Or for urinal, right? And, so the guy goes to the other one, right? He's following the rules, the unspoken rules of boyhood. And he looks over at me. He just glances over and he looks.
Just broke a rule.
And he looks down a little bit. He looks down a little bit, and I'm like,
Broke
what
two
the
rules.
fuck? And so he stops peeing, and he moves over to the middle one.
You mean he stops in the middle of peeing? Like I didn't know you guys
That's
could
hard.
do
That's
that.
it's hard.
I don't know if he like stopped in the middle of peeing,
like
or if he
that's a hard thing to do.
if he
for a
just
lot of guys.
hadn't started peeing yet,
Okay, fair enough.
Oh,
or
okay.
like maybe he just did the pinch. You know, sometimes you pinch it.
Okay, all right.
He might have done that. So he like stops and he moves over, and he looks down again. And
Oh,
he smiles.
God.
And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck?
You must have been scared
like,
shitless.
Middle school,
Yeah.
7th grade. And he looks down and he goes, hey man, nice pubes. And then like finishes
Not
up.
happen.
He finishes up and leaves. So there's more to this. I think it was Role Models later. Because I'd never seen Role Models. I was not a big fan of the raunchy comedy back in the day. And now like as an adult, I'm like, oh, I kind of miss it because it's dead.
It is.
And that was in Role Models. He just did the scene from Role Models, and it like left me kind of scarred a little bit. Like I think about it every once in a while, and I was like, I want to write that into like a script or something because like that was
Do you
like
think he was-
a really horrifying 7th grade moment. And I think he was just doing the Role Models thing to like laugh about it to his
So
friends
he
later, or laugh
imitated it,
about
you
to
think,
him.
not actually legitimately thought that your pubes were nice.
No, my pubes were not nice at the time.
Did,
To you, maybe.
do you
I
happen
maybe
to know
have
this
like
guy's
2
name?
hairs.
I don't want you to give
What'd you
it.
say?
I don't want you to give it here, but do you happen to know the guy's name?
Nah, I don't really remember a lot about that stuff. Like I kind of blocked out a lot of middle school.
That's a bummer because it'd be cool to look him up on Facebook and just message him
I mean-
privately.
Well, I mean, after the traumatic pube incident, I would think that yes, you would black out a lot of it.
I can also get into why I don't wear boxers anymore if you guys want to hear that real quick.
All right, well, it's Nick's turn. We are in circle time.
We'll come back to that.
Oh yeah, we'll get there.
I don't know, man. I mean, okay, so a lot of the stories are just short stories about, like I said, truck stop bathroom.
That's fine.
We've been over it, like the blood and stuff. There was one, and this is just real quick. One, the middle stall, the sacred middle stall.
The
So
Holy Land.
here are 2 quick ones. The first one is there used to be a guy who would.
I was so thinking the same thing. I totally want to be like, sacred middle stall.
Here's the thing, right?
All
The
right,
middle
go ahead.
stall,
The middle stall
stall.
inconveniences everyone else because then they have to go directly next to you, right? But if you pick it, no one on either side can see that you're in there. So,
Yes, thank you.
That's very true.
so
for clarifying.
here's the first one. Real quick story. Someone at my work used to just fall asleep in the bathroom. We used to call him the sleeper and joke about it. But
You've told me about this. Doesn't he snore there too?
yeah, he would snore. Like he would snore. That's how we
Is
knew
it
he was asleep.
narcolepsy?
yeah,
Is it
that's what I'm
narcolepsy?
thinking. Narcolepsy. Yeah.
I don't know.
Mid shit.
How's that possible? How can you be doing like 2 natural
Well,
bodily
I think
functions?
you
like that?
you get it done, and then you just hang out there on your phone.
It
for
was
too
like,
long
oh my
or
god, it
something.
was so exhausting. My shit took so much out of me. I have to take a
Or
nap.
he just straight up wasn't pooping. Was just like, I need a quick nap.
Sure.
Gonna grab a quick 20 in the bathroom.
What?
Yep.
But the smell,
Run out
man.
that clock.
That smell is just not worth that nap.
Yeah, go to your car.
The second one is, I think one day I walked into the middle stall, the holy middle stall, and it looked like someone probably with a penis, because otherwise this wouldn't really difficult, had undone their pants or whatever, gotten it out in the middle of the stall, like the actual toilet stall, and just spun around and peed. Because it was like, it was about chest height for me, and I'm pretty tall.
No.
And lower.
6'1". He's 6'1".
Like someone had fully did it super fast or something. I cannot imagine otherwise how it got everywhere. So it was on the door.
I know.
So like he
I know how it
shot
did.
his piss up like taller than I am. Like fucking Old Faithful. Like what the fuck?
All right, I think I know how
It happens.
Oh my god, okay, here.
All
Let's
right,
hear
so
physics.
here's the
Yes.
answer. It's not physics. So here's the thing that people forget about. While we push, so those guys have an obligation with medical problems to take care of shit. So I did have to wear a bag for a very short time. So I could see how someone having a bag that they had to piss into lost control of the bag and fucking
Like
made
a
a
comedy skit was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
sort of. That's what I'm thinking. Is maybe it just happened. Like I could totally see that happening. But bathroom etiquette says,
Clean it up.
Just clean it up,
Clean
man.
it the fuck up.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. I'll tell you that when I was really sick, and I was when I found out I had colitis and it actually turned into Crohn's before they figured everything out, I literally shit my pants in a restaurant. I was talking to my ex-wife. We're having dinner. I'll even name the restaurant because it doesn't matter. It was at an Applebee's. I'm looking at her. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And she looks at me and she goes, "Go to the bathroom." She goes, "My eyes just got really big." And I'm like, "I just did. I need to get the fuck out of here." I was so debating
Damn.
whether or not just throw myself on the floor and start convulsing so no one could tell. She's like, "It smells. Get out. Go, go, go,
And
go."
the best part, you rode home on a motorcycle, right?
I did ride
With
home on
her
a
on the
motorcycle.
back.
I'll never forget sitting out front waiting for her to pay the bill. There's this kid looking at me, and I had a pretty nice bike at the time, and he's looking at the bike and he's looking at me like I'm cool, and all I'm thinking is, "Kid,
I have shit in my
I've
pants.
shit in my pants.
I'm really not cool, man.
This is not cool at all, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this home." But anyway, I feel like I stole I stole your story,
You
Sophia,
stole mine,
and we bumped Shay on his second one, and you just did one, right?
No, he
I
did
kinda
two.
did
Well,
two.
two.
They were
Yeah,
just
but
very
they were
short.
short.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we should get it back. Can we give it back to Shay real quick?
Yeah, Shay can
All
tell
right.
when we're.
Oh,
I won't bogart the mic. You're good.
give me a second because I need to remember.
Okay,
right.
I'll
There was
tell
one
a
in
couple
particular-
short ones too.
yeah.
I only have a couple of short ones. So
I also don't-
one.
And then
I also don't necessarily have stories, but I also have just things that I would maybe like your opinions on how to react to. Just maybe some
Oh, yeah, you'll
strange
get that.
incidents.
Sure.
All right, Sophia first.
So going back to the crack thing, in the partitions.
Yes.
So at my bathroom, the public bathroom at work, when you do okay, so when women are walking, two women are walking or three women are walking into the bathroom at the same time, we all hold the door open for each other and we're like, oh, okay, whatever. And if I'm the first person in that line of succession going into the bathroom, I'm going to go to the farthest one. That's just polite. I'm not going to take the first stall. I'm going to go to the end so the person behind me can go into the middle, and then the last person goes to the one that's closest to them, because that is the polite thing to do.
I have a question. My question is this. So I gotta ask them first, and it's coming to your story, and it's about what you just said. So when you go to the stall, gentlemen, do you guys go to the first one or you go to the farthest one in the back?
Furthest.
Shay?
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
When there's somebody behind you?
No, even when there's somebody behind me, somebody in front of me.
I
if it's
can't
empty.
honestly say that I've ever had a situation where there's been a line for the men's bathroom, unless it's pissing.
Fair enough. So, but I'm just saying, if you walk into a bathroom and you're alone, do you go to the first stall or the last stall?
And unless it's very obviously the handicap stall, and then I always have the fear that
Sure.
if I'm in it, someone
Yeah.
who will need
Yes,
need it will
that's
be in there.
polite. Don't use the
But you go to the
stall.
farthest one besides the handicap stall, which I'm allowed to use. So fuck
I
you,
mean,
people.
sure. I think that's just kind of like a
it's
natural.
reserved for
Right,
people
so
with
you-
wheelchairs, dude.
No.
Not your problems.
No, my problem's too because I can get stuck. But
Oh my god, Jesus!
I can get. Listen, if I have
That's
a,
my man. Oh yeah.
The truth is, if I get an MS flare while I'm in there, and the fact is they don't know when the MS is going to
No,
kick
actually,
up,
it
I can get stuck, and I'll need to use the railing.
It works for us though because it's a good excuse for a quickie. Because then he's like, "Oh look, she needs to help me get out of the bathroom."
This may or may not be true. Okay, Shay. So I just want to know: do you go to what? If you were in the bathroom by yourself, do you go to the last one or you go to the
He
first
already
one?
answered that.
I didn't hear him. Sorry.
The one that's not the handicap, usually the last one, but I think that's like an unconscious, natural thing that I just do.
Right, it's being polite.
So you say, though, when you go with a group, you go to the last stall. We would all go to the last stall naturally anyway.
Well,
that's why I was pointing that out.
Sure. Okay. So I will preface this too, where actually the code requirement for women's bathrooms is actually more so for fixtures than for men's bathrooms, which I don't fucking get because there's always a line to go to the women's restroom. Just I guess simply because we take longer. I don't know. But in my work bathroom, we have 3 stalls, and then we have what we call the poop closet or the poop pit. And it's actually like a built closed room that's the ADA stall, but it's a room inside of the bathroom. But when you go into the stalls, there are these big ass cracks in the partitions. I don't know who the hell spec'd these partitions because they were dumb. But literally if you go, so the stalls are parallel to the sinks in the mirror. So if you're going and washing your hands in one of the sinks and you just look up in the mirror and you just see movement, you legitimately can see the person doing their business in the stall. And it's a natural thing. Like, it's like, I'm not trying to stare at you, but it's like, it's just the eye sees movement and you just like kind of are drawn to it. Like, okay, I'm going to look in the mirror. And you're like, no, I'm not really looking at you, like, at all. And so, what are you trying to do? Sorry, Shay, he was trying to.
You're sounding in and out. I was trying to fix it.
Okay. Yeah, you can cut that out, please.
Leave it in.
Shut up. No. This is way too long of a pause.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to say, which I totally forgot to, I lost my train of thought. Thank you,
partition.
Jason,
Going to
for
the
that.
style, the partition where you see each other.
That wasn't it. I lost it. Shay, you go.
You were in a group at work, and then you.
We're all listening.
It's gone.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
So, I mean,
Go on,
if it's
Shay.
gone. Okay, so, do we want to get into weird locker room experience? Does that count? Or do we want to talk
don't know
about
if that
something
counts.
a little
Locker
more
room
That
is
is
not
weird.
exactly the same as a bathroom.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll save that embarrassing story that scarred me for my entire life.
The other thing about
for another time.
partitions is the worst one I've ever seen is a courthouse around here. Not to say which one it is, but the bathroom is set up where it clearly looks like they didn't plan for all the stalls they needed. And so one of them is going to squat in the middle of the room.
Oh, geez.
And the partition is the exact same thing where you can see it both. If you are in the sink, someone can look into your crack.
Right. And you can see them washing their hands when you're in the
And-
stall.
When you walk in the door, you can see through the other
Shut
part
up.
of the partition.
Oh, my God.
So you're just kind of
See,
straight up staring at the people as they walk
the
in.
moral of that story, folks, is please hire the correct commercial interior designer to be
Yeah.
able to spec all of your proper equipment for any of your
Plan.
bathroom needs. You pre-plan. Thank you. This is why I have 1,000,001 pictures of bathrooms in my phone, folks.
So I got a good one. Well, it's not a story, just to add to that. At Under the Thumb, they when they built their like building 21 and building 20, they didn't plan for like women's and men's bathrooms correctly. So like they're flipped. So women's bathrooms need more space. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Than men's
you're
bathrooms do. And so they didn't plan for that. So the bathrooms are literally everyone you go to is flipped. So it'll be on the left side men's on one, and then you go to the next one and it's right side men's. So like there's definitely a lot of problems there where people will walk into the wrong one expecting it to be on the same side in every like
So the
area of the
plumbing
building.
is switched?
And then you'll accidentally walk into the women's bathroom or men's bathroom.
Oh,
On
weird.
accident.
Weird. Yeah.
So that happens a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Which is actually really weird because whenever you go and actually design a new building, like the public bathrooms are one of the absolute first things that plan checkers look at, like to see if you're accessible, it's in the path of travel. That's why bathrooms are so important. Like it's the biggest thing when you're actually putting plans together.
So that's funny
Yep.
that's all important. And so I'll say that business owners, they fuck bars. I fucking hate bar bathrooms. I will do anything to stay out of bar bathroom.
Yeah,
Not because
they're
people,
bad.
not just because
gross.
people are gross in them, but
Well, yeah.
here's my story.
They're drunk in them.
They're drunk in them too. Fine,
Yes.
whatever. Like that doesn't even bother me. But at least maintain your fucking bathroom. Like again, I think people who own bar owners, I think restaurant owners, business owners, whoever who owns bathrooms, I think while it is their job to maintain the cleanliness, and I know people make it dirty, I will go into a bathroom stall and I will clean it before I do my business. What I have a problem with is I've gone into stalls, number one, where the door is not long enough. So essentially, you go into a stall where it's almost up to your waist when you close the door.
Oh yeah.
Like how
So
the
you could see if you're taking a piss like backwards, you can see the bottom of your ass cheeks like underneath the door.
if you're taking a
Yeah, or
shit,
your
somebody
thighs.
can just look in and see you.
Oh, I didn't
Because
even
the
think about
door's
that. Yeah.
the door's not low enough. The other
Right.
thing, which has absolutely happened to me at a bar, where I've gone to take because again I don't piss as much, I shit a lot. I go to I go to take a shit, and the fucking door doesn't have a lock on it, and because it's
Oh,
either
yeah, I've been there, yeah.
it's either shit my pants or fucking use the toilet because for me it's
So there's a
medical
little
issue.
trick. You put your foot up
Except
and close
I was
and
just
hold
about
the
to
door
say,
closed.
you put your feet up on it.
agreed, 100%.
and it's like a squatty potty.
Yeah, unless the fucking hinges go both fucking ways.
No,
So-
that hardly ever happens.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, well, that
let me
happened to
tell
me maybe
you.
one
Let
time.
me tell you about a traumatic
But-
story. Where this happened to me.
Oh my god!
Where I was at a bar in Sacramento, and I sat down to do my business. It was a pretty packed bar, and sure enough, some dude
Sure enough.
like I always pay attention to stalls. I'll tap. I'll look for feet first. Like, it was clear somebody was in there. This drunk motherfucker opens the door. Sorry, dude. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking a shit. What else am I going to say? Like, but I was embarrassed as fuck, and I'm just sitting there.
Hold on. I have one really quick thing to say to that. So, women take forever in the bathroom, right? So I've been at a bar where I'm like, fuck it, I have to piss so bad, I'm drunk, I'm just gonna fucking go in the men's room and see if there's anybody in there. And I've been in there where there's like no men in there, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna piss in the men's room. So I remember one time I go in and I'm in the stall and I come out and the sink happens to be right next to the urinal for some reason. So I go to wash my hands and this guy comes in and he's taking a piss, and literally it was the most unsexualized encounter that I've ever had with a man. Like, literally, I look over at him and I don't look down. I look at his eyes and he looks over at me and he's like, hey, like,
She
like
nodded.
did the nod.
She
like,
nodded.
What's up? And I'm like, hey, dude. And I'm like washing my hands and I fucking leave. And it was like so.
So he practiced proper bathroom
Yeah,
etiquette.
he's
Yes.
allowed to talk at the sink.
It was, yeah. But he was past the sink line.
Ooh.
But he was taking a
I mean,
piss,
you
and
couldn't
she
say
was
But
right
he
talk
there.
to
didn't
people.
like think it was weird. Like, oh shit, I'm sorry, this is uncomfortable
That
because
happens
a
all the
woman was
time.
there, and I wasn't uncomfortable because I was like, okay, obviously you're not being
Was-
a creep about
was
this,
he
so
drunk?
fuck it.
As
Probably.
a man,
'Cause
So was I.
I've had women come into the bathroom all the time, just like, oh, ours is full.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I've had that
Like,
Sure.
happen. But
I
here's
don't
the
give
thing.
a fuck.
If he was drunk, I'm betting he would have done exactly what I did, where he was like, did I fuck up? Did I open the
He's
wrong
right.
Yeah.
Okay, he was pissing in a fucking urinal, dude.
That doesn't matter. I'm still
it
gonna
doesn't
think
mean
that.
Yeah.
I guess
No,
if
me
he's
too.
like blotto.
I can't
Women
tell
can
you,
have
like,
urinals,
so
too.
every time I walk into a bathroom, this is totally true. Every time I walk in,
double check the little figurine.
I
like,
ensure there are urinals in it every time.
my
I
God.
actually,
As one does.
I have another story where for my 21st birthday, I'll name this place because it really doesn't matter. It's not bashing the place in any way. I had on my 21st birthday, my mother and a ton of my friends.
This was in the medieval era, by the
In
way.
the medieval
folks.
area, it's kind of dinosaur time. My mother and a group of my friends decided to throw me a surprise party, and she did it pretty well. We started at one restaurant, and she had a couple people show up, and said, hey, they're going to go take you out to a bunch of bars in a limo. And where we ended up was Dick's Last Resort. Well, one of my buddies was pretty drunk, and he goes in, and he goes in the wrong restroom, but he does not talk to any women. He does not bother anybody. He's literally mid-leak, because sometimes guys will leave the stall open when they're taking a leak. And this girl goes, you're in here. And he goes, oh, I didn't know. He finishes up, walks out. I probably had 40 to 60 people in that fucking bar, and they were going to kick him out. And I'm like, if you kick him out, we're all going. they had spent a ton of money waiting for me on drinks, and it was early in the night, and they fucking kicked him out, so we left. All of us.
Free
I was like,
drinks.
fuck you guys. Like,
So the
thank
moral
you.
of the story is that anytime, just go in early enough, order a bunch of drinks, guy goes in the women's restroom, you can get out for scot-free.
It wasn't even that. I think
you get kicked out.
we paid the tab. My issue about it is you're just discussing women going into men's restrooms. Men don't say shit. If he was being creepy like the guy you were dealing with,
Sure,
I
yeah.
get it. But if he's just going in there, he's mid-league,
Dude,
and then he realizes, fuck,
yeah,
I fucked up, and he
I
finishes
wouldn't
off.
give a fuck.
Like, that was bullshit. I was pissed that they kicked us
The
out.
guy that at that bar, if he
Or
had
kicked
been
him
that
out.
exact same way as your friend, like I would have been like, okay, whatever, dude. Like I don't give a shit. Like whatever. It's nothing I've never seen before. You know what I mean? Like it's not a big deal. But the fact that he made it creepy, it did. You know?
Right.
But if he
Yeah.
was like your friend, like fuck it. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah,
complain.
he was literally
like,
literally just had to take a leak, wasn't paying attention, walked in the wrong one. They lost 60 people, walked out of the fucking bar because of that.
Damn.
It's the like animal thing. Like, if I'm in there, it's an accident, and I'm more scared than you are.
Right.
That is so
Well,
true.
I
too.
mean,
more
that might not be true because
No,
of your
it's not.
experience with the creepy guy.
It's
but
not.
I'm saying I might be like, hi, oops, but I'm panicking.
That's because you're not a predator, Nick.
True.
Does your panic so with your panic and your nerves?
Yeah,
are you
I'll
like-
have to go to the real restroom.
I'm sorry, I have to take a shit. I'm nervous.
I can just see you all of a sudden stand there and just cupping your ass. Oh,
Okay.
And then the woman's like, okay, fuck it, never mind. I'm not scared anymore. Go take a shit.
So the other thing is, speaking of bad bar
Bathrooms.
restrooms,
Bar bathrooms.
There's one that I've been to downtown, and as far as I know, at least when it happened, the door didn't lock, and it was one of those ones where it was small enough where it was clearly supposed to be a one-person bathroom, but instead they had the sink and a real toilet and a urinal on the other side of it, on the door
Oh my
side.
god, and a urinal?
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
that's
You're
so
all
wrong.
on top of each other?
No, where if you were on the toilet, you'd be looking at the person's ass who's at the urinal, essentially.
So
basically
on
what
top
they,
of each other.
So no, it could be so Nick's probably about 10 feet away from me, maybe a little bit more. The urinal would be on a wall right there.
Yeah, the
and
door's
toilet-
right here, the toilet's right there, the sink's right there.
Right, and there's no stall, right?
Yeah, no.
And no lock on the door?
Because
Hire
clearly
a commercial interior designer, folks.
It's
I'm
even
telling
worse.
you.
Because here's the thing. The entire thing was covered in mirror, so if you walked in, you couldn't look away.
No.
No, that's
Yeah.
wrong.
No. Okay, have you guys ever been, for our audience, I understand you guys may not even be from here, but have you all,
Sacramento.
y'all ever been to the bar, or the club, the Park?
No.
Okay, so it's downtown, and it's one of those
I don't
like
go to
more
clubs.
upscale kind of shishi. It's like a total douche bar. Like I don't go to
Yeah.
those types of clubs anywhere. It's just booty bumping and fucking pick up cat calls and shit. But in the daytime,
Sad.
it's a really nice restaurant that has really good food and it's a really cool atmosphere. But then once it turns like 9 o'clock, it turns into a nightclub. Well, their bathroom. So the men and women, of course, like go right up next to each other, but they have this large cutout in the middle, right where you go and wash your hands. So literally, you will be face to face as like from the women's room with a man in the men's room washing your hands. Like, so men can see the women that are going like in and out of the bathroom, and it's fucking weird.
Dude, can the girls see into the men's bathroom?
Yes.
Can
Yes.
you see the?
I
can you
know-
see
I
the-
know-
Can you see the like urinals and shit?
No, you can't literally see into the bathroom, but it's like literally you go and take a piss and you go and you're like gonna go wash your hands, and then you look up and there's this fucking dude that's like face to face
Yes,
with you.
okay.
It's fucking weird.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's Park, but it also shares the building with Cafeteria
Yes,
15L.
R15. Yeah.
So I've been in there. It is scary.
It is
because
weird. Thank
it looks
you,
like a
Nick.
mirror at first, but it's
It
actually
does.
like just green glass. So you'll be like, oh,
Yes.
fun mirror, and then walk across like I did, and you'll come back to wash your hands and realize,
Or I'm
oh,
like-
there's two people in the mirror. And I'm the only person in there. You look up and you're actually seeing the other
and they're
sink
like
essentially.
right there, like they
Yeah,
are
yeah.
back to back, and that is just like a pane of glass. Like we're not even talking about like a 6-inch interior wall space. Like it is right up next to it.
Yeah, it's
like
real weird.
I've done that. Like I went up there and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like touch up my makeup really quick, and I go to look at it, and fucking some dude's face is
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there, and
And
I'm
it's-
like, the fuck?
It wasn't even like, ooh, there's girls that can see me wash my hands. It was like it was like horror movie shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the only person in this bathroom, and there's 2 people in the mirror.
Yeah, but not even that. Like, so think about it. Like, if you're a female and you're at a club and like already some guy is like maybe been like, you know, trying to hit on you, and then all of a
that'd be
sudden,
way worse than nice. Mine was during the day, like just
Sure.
eating brunch.
Sure, right. But like the point is that it turns into a club, like of course turns into a bar. Like it's fucking creepy. Like, why did somebody design this? I don't understand.
Are we talking about it?
Me neither.
Are we talking about it?
It's just to hook up. They just everybody.
It's a hookup thing,
Yeah,
and
it's
we're
a hookup thing.
and we're talking about it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think that as a surprise, I would fucking hate it. But knowing it's there, I kind of think that'd be interesting to see.
You're a fucking douche.
No.
That
That's not
is
what I
fucking
mean. I
gross.
mean,
no. I
Now-
love you, but you're a douche.
That's not
Got
what I
him.
mean. I mean, I just want to see the architecture of it. Like, I want to see how they set it up
no,
because you guys
it's
are talking
okay.
about
Coming from a designer, it is not cool. It is not fucking cool.
it. I just want to see what it looks
Flat
like.
out,
I don't
it
care
is
if
not
anybody's
fucking
even
cool.
on the other side.
It
Like, I don't
doesn't-
need anybody on the other side.
I'm telling you, it's not fucking
Go
cool.
for brunch
it's
at
creepy.
cafeteria. And,
Yeah, go to brunch, dude.
That's
yeah,
fine.
it's just
or
it's not.
Mahjong, because they should have the same
No,
building.
Their food is amazing. Just I won't use their fucking bathroom.
At least she won't wash her hands. She goes there, which breaks an etiquette rule.
That's only if I use the bathroom. I wash my hands beforehand.
All right, fair.
Or if I'm just washing my hands, and it's fine. But like as long as there's nobody else in there, like at brunch time. But no, it's not. Don't be a douche. Like no, it's not.
No,
cool.
I don't. I can go in there empty. I just want to see what it
No,
looks like.
it's not cool. It's actually really simply constructed. It's not really anything that's like to write home about of anything fancy. I could tell you exactly. I could draw you exactly how it was built structurally. It's not that exciting.
You also wouldn't know this, but the urinal, one of the urinals is very inconveniently placed on the direct opposite of that wall.
Does
So
not surprise me.
you would basically be like this with another man, just 90-degree angle.
Sure.
Oh.
Sure.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And no one
Very
understood what
crazy.
Nick did, but he just made it look like a
That's why I
urinal
said
was on one side.
90-degree after I did the little motion.
Yeah, he did do a hand motion and try to explain all this, but as again, we're currently not a visual art. We are, and I don't know if this is art. It's all
Not yet.
bullshit.
It's an audible
audible experience.
audible entertainment. How about that? Not really art.
Okay, so
So I've got my one story before we go into your
yeah, the
questions.
little closeout stuff. These will
Yeah.
go fast.
A little closeout. So we were talking about blood, right? And I was dating this girl at the time, and so I went and did my business, and
The dark deed.
I was sitting in the living room,
Your
and
dark
one of her
deeds.
friends was over, so it was even more weird. And I think one of my friends was over, so it was even more weird. And she like just said this right in front of everyone. She's like, "So first of all, you should really think about using like do a courtesy flush when you're done." So there's the first of all. Second of all, I think we need to take you to the hospital because there's blood inside the bowl. First of all, I love that she like brought up that I need to work on courtesy flushing first. The pipes were bad in that place.
Okay,
by the way, in that
I have
apartment.
questions. Is this your house or her house?
My house.
Okay, fucked up.
This was my apartment.
How long had you guys been together for when this happened?
6
Okay,
months.
that's fucked too.
6 months. This was close to the end of their relationship.
yeah.
I've talked about her in the past. She's a bad person.
You know what also is fucked? You doing your voice like this. I mean, she's a bitch.
So was
Sounds like
that
a
fucked
bitch,
up?
but like,
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just messing
I got nothing but
with you.
negative things to say about her. So and I was like, what? And she thought like I had like hemorrhoids or something, and I was 22, so not likely yet, but it could happen.
It could happen.
And I was kind of like worried for a little bit, and this had happened a couple times. Like, I mean, after that, she
I
had
know
like
what it
told me,
was.
"Oh, I saw
She gave
blood
you a
inside the toilet bowl. I
complex.
saw blood in the toilet bowl or whatever." And well, I just at that point in my life was eating a lot of hot Cheetos.
Was your shit orange?
She got me all worried about it. And this was that girl, I mentioned it in probably the last episode, actually, that she like would go to the hospital like
the hypochondriac.
every
yeah.
3 months.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like I think she thought like that I had some issues.
So
but,
she was
like,
trying
nah,
to do like
nah, I just-
Munchausen's by proxy to you.
Yeah, she was like, you should go check it out and this and that. But nah, it was just hot Cheetos. Also, if you're going to vomit, You vomit in the toilet. Do not vomit in my sink.
Oh my god! Not only that,
pisses
not
me off
only
so
that,
bad.
like vomit. Like I get it. Like it sprays. It's the whole thing of like the toilet brush that you were saying, Jason. Like people who vomit, it's the exact same thing as people who shit. Like it gets on the side. Do not leave that shit there because it fucking cakes and it smells. Like scrape it up.
If you're that sick, it depends on how sick you are. I'd have to say for that. As far as that,
I'm not going to say names, but I know somebody who's actually in my family that does that, and it's awful.
Oh God,
She pukes all the time. She's a puker. I don't know why, but she's a puker, and like she doesn't clean up the toilet bowl afterwards.
So I'll just tell you something funny, shade right back at you. So with my, again, newly acquired digestive system, it's not newly acquired. I've had it since 2006. But with that newly acquired digestive system, whatever color I drink, I poop.
I can attest to that. It's
Yeah,
actually
makes
like
sense.
quite fascinating.
Yeah, it comes
It
out.
is.
It comes out like if I drink red, I have to remember if I forget because
Or like,
again,
you must have ate carrots.
well, no. So Crohn's. So with the Crohn's, like I can potentially bleed a lot, and I can bleed out going to the bathroom. So what happens is if I forget,
Well, this turned dark, not a laughing matter
it's
anymore.
not a big deal. It's so not a big deal. It's like I don't even care. So the deal is though, if I forget that I drank a red Gatorade and then I go to the bathroom, I'll be like, oh shit, I think I might. Oh, am I gonna have to go? Like I'll go through the whole thing and then I'll be like, oh, I drink a Gatorade.
I can attest to that, to where he like I can see it on his face that he's kind of nervous, and then like he's like he doesn't want to tell me and worry me, and then like I see like the light bulb moment like go off in his eyes, and he's like, oh, that's why. Or like I'll remind him, or like if like sometimes if you eat something super acidic or drink something acidic and it's like not sitting well with you, I'll be like, dude, remember you drank this, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a thing, and I gotta say, as far as the one more etiquette thing I'd like to add, and I'm adding it for you, Sophia, actually, because it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Here's the deal: we have a master bedroom. It is our love den, where we record from. Just so you all know,
We record in the Love Den.
we let
Coming
everybody
to you
know
straight from the Love Den.
we let everybody know not to touch anything in here. It's a pretty safe bet just not to do it. But anyway, so like
you's a freak.
my bathroom's right there. Our bathroom's right there. I use it. I'm loud. I can't help it. Sometimes it's a little bit messy. Whatever it is, she has never ever once made me feel bad about it. She's never commented on
no,
it.
I don't
She's
do
never.
that.
She's never. And I'll just tell you, it's an uncut. Like having these issues is not like. Here's the funniest part. Before I had these issues, I wouldn't go to the restroom in public. I wouldn't shit in public. Now I have to shit everywhere, even if it's a bad restroom, because I don't have a choice. But the one thing I gotta say is, like, if you're a spouse of somebody, shut the fuck up and just help them.
Can I say something after you're done that's actually personal, but also really kind of like sweet to our audience?
I don't care.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, so my point is that she is super respectful of that of me. My kids are pretty respectful of it, and people who know me are respectful of it.
They just make jokes, like the
right,
dad jokes,
right?
you know?
And we
well,
make,
not immediately, like maybe
No,
later, like
yeah.
haha.
Well, so he can't
Jason has a
fart.
baby
I
butt
like-
or
He
whatever.
can't fart, otherwise he'll
But
shit his
not like
pants.
the moment you come out. I would never. It's the same thing with the commentary rule. Like I would never be like, "Hey, what's up?"
and I
Heard
did
that.
You all right?
and Nick was the same way. I lived with Nick for a while, and I think I bought a toilet brush when I moved in there. Just because I wanted to make sure I wasn't making a mess. Like,
had
and I
JG on it.
bought a toilet brush, and I think I bought toilet cleaner to have on hand so that we had two bathrooms,
Yeah.
but Nick and I shared a bathroom, and I always was super conscious of all that shit because I know I'm sharing. So understand that anybody in a bathroom's loud. Remember that they know they were loud. They know whatever happened.
Be empathetic.
Be empathetic.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and let that person deal with it. That ability to have people around me, and I know this sounds ridiculous, that don't comment and can let me just allow it to be easier for me to deal with, and makes it so that I can laugh at it instead of be like, oh man, I'm so embarrassed right now.
And a
It just changes
caveat to
everything.
that is be empathetic to people who are like that, as long as they're empathetic to whoever the user is after them, cleaning up after them, like you are.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's the golden toilet rule. So one little personal anecdote that I just want to say, and it might be a little cheesy and sappy for our audience, but I do remember one time a long time ago, you had told me, God damn it, like, I don't think anybody could ever, like, love me that much because I could fucking shit my pants at any fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember looking at you like, oh my God, you're so wrong. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't care that you could shit yourself at any time. Like, you're a great man.
That's really nice, baby. And since
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Come on, dude. I wanted to like slap him. Like, you're an idiot. Come on, dude.
like, so honestly, like, so when she says I can shit myself anytime I can, and that includes our bed with her in it, but I've gotten so far past it, and I think, and at this point it's humorous.
And I still don't judge him.
And like whenever somebody's talking to me and they're like, I have something embarrassing to tell you, I usually laugh at them. And then honestly, like straight up, I did this to somebody last week. I'm like, you have nothing to worry about. And they're always like, why? I'm like, because I can shit my pants at any moment, and it has happened.
Do you guys remember that SNL, like old school SNL, like when they did like the fake infomercials and commercials and shit, like the "Oops, I crap my pants"?
I have not seen that one.
Oh, you look it up, audience, look it up. I'm sure it's on YouTube. It was just super funny. Like we're talking like I think like maybe back in the 80s or 90s of SNL. It was really funny. It was like a fake commercial of "Oops, I crap my pants." I think it was like a adult diaper fake commercial that they made. It was really funny. It was called "Oops, I Crap My Pants."
The roughest time I've ever had with any of this, like the time I most felt ashamed, was when an ex bought me...
Damn, it wasn't even with me. Holy damn.
It wasn't with you. An ex bought me Depends and were like, just in case you have a problem.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's fucked.
They were really doing it because we were having problems at the time, and they were trying to make me feel bad. That's the only time I felt bad about it. And then when I first got the surgery done, you have no control. And I was married at the time, and I was at a hospital, and I won't name the hospital, but I was at a hospital, and the nurse came in, and I said, hey, can you bring me a bunch of separate pants? Because I really don't have control. And I felt pretty confident with what was going on at the time. And she literally looked at me, and she goes, you're married, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, does your wife know? I'm like, I'm in here for this fucking surgery. Of course she knows. Like, are you kidding me? She's like, I don't know if I can get, a couple pants. I'm like, you're going to have to anyway, because I'm going to...
What's the point of her comment? Like,
yeah, she was...
I don't understand.
I also had...
That's awful.
I will say that I had worked within this hospital system, so I can keep the hospital name out of it. But I had worked within the hospital system, and damn, if they didn't know that I knew the person who ran their patient quality care section, so that nurse did not get away with it. But yeah, that was the only other time where I was like, man, this sucks. Like,
what reverse sexism? We usually get that. Does your husband know? But
I totally got that.
Does your wife know?
Oh, I totally got that.
The fuck?
It was a little rough. But now, like, I laugh. I think it's funny. Like, my kid is like, Dad, I have something to happen, and I'm embarrassed. I'm like, I would get down real low to him. I'm like, son, you can't tell me anything bad. He goes, why not, Dad? And I'm like, I pooped my pants. And he tells me, like, it was all good. Like, and he smiled, and we had a good conversation.
In truth,
about
he
what
says the same thing to me, where I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you. It's embarrassing. And he goes, baby, I shit the bed.
Yeah, you're not going to, I got you
like,
beat.
Touche.
All right, Nick had some.
Okay, yeah, just maybe some.
Wait, I didn't get to finish my story.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I just let you
Damn
guys
it,
talk
Jason.
for 17
See?
minutes.
Oh,
Oh.
that was a great story, Shay. Can you tell me the rest of it? That I know about the girl. Wait. I just have to prove that I knew. I
Yes,
still
yeah,
remember
the girl.
about the girl
You have
who
blood
would-
in your stools. Like,
and
might
tell
wanna
you
get
have
that
to courtesy
checked.
flush.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
She's a real cunt, and I don't use that word lightly.
Oh no, it's used for a specific reason. Like from a woman, like I don't take offense.
Hey.
Like I get it.
Be careful with that word because I know that
I was
turns
going
off
to move-
audience members.
Well,
Go ahead.
we have the female.
That's like the
female
only time I'll
host
use it.
on here that I'm telling you that it's just a fucking word. People get over it,
All right,
but
go
it's
ahead.
used for specific reasons. Go, Shay.
Anyway, so this is less about her, but we were talking about like throwing up. I wanted to just mention that like I had a couple roommates, and you guys know them, who decided to mix.
Ooh.
This will be real quick. They decided to mix, and I told them not to. I was drinking Jägermeister,
Ew.
and they were drinking brandy.
Ew.
And I was in college. Like, everyone drinks Jägermeister in college.
I didn't.
And,
Nope.
Nope. Yeah. Try again, but okay. Continue.
it tastes like
It's
licorice.
gross.
Um,
Have you had ouzo?
No. Anyway, so I was drinking and I told them, like, don't drink my Jägermeister because you guys just had like several shots of brandy and it won't be good for you. And
Look at
they
you
did,
looking
and they
out.
both got sick. And one of them, and like, so we were very heavy into eating Cheetos at the time. Just hot Cheetos
So
were
people
like
are
a
heavy
really
into
big
meth,
thing
you
for
were
us.
heavy into eating Cheetos.
And having
It was like a
orange
bag
shit.
a night, like one of the smaller bags, but like a bag a night. And
Damn.
they both ate like an entire bag of Cheetos, and then one of them was vomiting out. Like, so I'm in an apartment. We're on the second story. They're vomiting out over and like not into their yard,
Over
but
the
like on their
balcony?
shed. On their shed.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I was like, I almost said his name. Dude, come on. Just go to the toilet. He's like, it's
I
fine.
believe
It's
this
fine.
man's name
That-
starts with a G. All right.
Yes.
Well, actually, it
And
starts with
that
a
sat
J.
out there for a while.
Yeah,
And
it
then
starts with a J.
You just
but
gave it away.
phonetically,
You just gave it away.
No.
Shush.
It's oh yeah no, you're right.
Yes,
Sophia.
I am right.
The other one went and vomited in my bathroom, and I was like, oh yeah, great. And then I go in there, and it's just a pile of pink foam.
Oh my god.
Was that another J name as well?
X.
Oh, so it's a
Oh.
female?
No, like X
No.
the letter.
Oh, an X. Oh, yeah. Okay, we get it. It's an X.
All right.
Yeah. And he had vomited all over in the sink, and it was just pink foam piled up real high, and I had to clean that all out. It was disgusting. We polished the night off by watching a documentary about the Iron Sheik.
Well, one of these gentlemen will be on this podcast at some point because another roommate of
both of
yours
them at one
who did
point.
not, who is not this person is probably going to be moving in with us, and he will be on the podcast. So
Yes,
we'll
he'll
have them
be
both.
shortly. Very shortly.
Oh,
Stay tuned,
not that
folks.
guy.
Yeah, no,
Different
I
guy.
know,
Oh,
I know,
but
it's a
he's
different
the
guy.
worst. Like, I don't even care if he hears this. So I know that he's going to be on one of these, and he's going to listen to this. Like, he cannot hold his fucking liquor. Every
Josh
single
Gascon?
time. Yes, Josh Gascon. Every time he comes over for a party, it's always like he drinks, and we don't even drink that much, and he's like, "Well, guys, I'm fucked up," and he always ends up throwing up.
I
Granted,
didn't
he
know that.
always makes it to the toilet, and he's polite about it, but he always throws up.
I did
Every
not
single
know
time.
Josh. I had no
Josh-
idea.
I love drinking with Josh.
You can write in to email us at 30minutepodcast@gmail.com.
30-minute BS podcast.
Yes, yeah, don't forget
Yes.
to see. That's
sorry,
why I fucked it
BS,
up.
30minutebspodcast@gmail.com. Josh Gascon, please email in there. You can't deny it because you know it's true. You really can't.
So let's move on to our boy here and tell us your questions.
Okay. Well,
Steve.
they're
Yes.
not. They're just kind of like weird things that I've experienced. Like,
Sure.
so here's the first one. Get everyone's reaction to this. I was up in Tahoe going to my brother's girlfriend's parents own like a cabin up there, so sometimes they'll have parties up there. We go up there, and I believe that's where this question came from, and I was treated to maybe the first thing I've ever experienced in a bathroom before: carpet. Thoughts?
Oh, no. Okay,
Well, I
as
got-
a designer, I say no.
All right, so-
That's awful.
It has to be green or purple.
Oh yeah, or
and it
no,
must be shag.
pink. It can,
It
and
will
it's pink,
smell.
and it's a pink toilet, and it's pink like 6x6.
Wider
granted-
carpet, wider than the carpet we're on.
Shut the fuck up! It was
Yeah,
white.
yeah.
Oh my god, that's
Okay,
disgusting.
Okay, so here's the thing: when Sophia and I moved in together, her and her
funny,
sister,
yes, I know what
her and
you're
her
saying.
sister, her and her sister wanted to get those like carpety things to go around the bottom of the toilet
Yeah,
and to go over the
toilet mats.
toilet mats and like some other shit. And I looked them both in the eyes, and at that time, that was like 2 years ago, right? Yeah, a little over 2 years ago.
Almost,
I looked at them
right.
and I go, I have a 6-year-old and I have like a 9-year-old moving in here. They're gonna piss all over that fucking thing. And instantly, like initially, they
It
were
was
like, "No, we want it." And I'm like,
wide-eyed,
I'm like, don't. I'm like,
oh fuck.
you can't buy that. And they're like, no, we really want it. And I'm like, we have a 6-year-old and like a 9-year-old moving in. You can't have that. They're going to piss all over it. And instantly they were like, yeah, okay, we'll get rid of it. They started to argue until I added that part and then it was gone.
No, totally. Well, and you have to understand something. So I am the absolute youngest in my family, like the entire time I was growing up, and even still to this day, because I have a pretty small, close-knit family. And we're we were a family of women. Like my mom, my sister, and I, and my dad was the odd man out. So I never had like little gross boys around until just now. And I'm like, oh shit, you're right. Like it's just not something that I thought about because I'm like, I don't fucking piss on a mat. I just like it when I get up out of the bed and the floor is cold and I'm like, I have something nice to put my feet on. Like that's all.
Yep. Nope.
Jesus.
So you remember when I forgot what I was going to say? You just reminded me.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
I have a friend that goes by McSchwack. You can follow him on Twitch. He's the best.
McSchwack?
Yes, that's his nickname, McSchwack. And you can find McSchwack on Twitch. I'm not going to say his real name. He's very open about this, so I don't feel bad saying it. His brother, who's much, much older than him, when he was a kid and he'd piss on the seats, his family would take his hands and rub it on the piss to teach him not to piss on the seat. Well, hold on. It gets worse. So because of that, he pees sitting down. He will not pee standing up because he's traumatized. And I don't think he says he doesn't think he's traumatized. I know he's traumatized. He laughs about it, but he's like, yeah, they used to wipe my hand in the pee. So now I don't pee standing up. I just sit down when I pee. And I'm like, dude, that's serious childhood trauma.
I'm having
right
a serious.
now. Anyway.
I'm having a serious need to like. I can totally move this into another direction very quick. So we're not gonna comment on this, Jay. I'm sorry, because if I do, like, I have a direction that will take us completely off topic. Nick. Okay, we can talk about it then, but the topic doesn't even have to do with
Fuck,
that.
that just got really heavy because
Oh,
that
it's
reminds
not-
me of my own
it's
childhood
not even
trauma.
negative.
Like that was like,
I have a
fuck.
funny one. It's actually funny. I'll mention it. We cannot talk about it. So
Okay, but we're
Absolutely.
talking
No,
about
you'll
it
laugh.
on fucking
No, you're
air
right,
on
but
the
you'll
podcast.
you'll laugh about it. So my children tend to sit more than stand, and I want to get them to stand. Well, my younger one stands more, but my oldest one
God,
sits.
because he's so into this fucking macho.
It's
fucking
not my,
male thing.
that's what I'm trying to figure out if I'm doing. Like, I haven't said anything to them. We've talked about it a little bit, and I let it go. I don't even get
They
involved
will
in it.
grow into
Baby,
that.
I'm trying not to talk about this.
I don't know. My dad would have said something along the lines of, hey, what you doing there? You some kind of little bitch?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't ever
Jason
talk to my
doesn't
kids
have
like that.
in him, thank God. And if he did, I'd stop it in its
No, that's
tracks.
probably bad that he's like that.
Yes. He does not abuse his children. He's actually great to them, which is why. Like, no, don't do that.
Okay, we're not talking about it. I
ain't
just
raising those sissy boys
Okay.
here.
It
Anyway,
can send us down.
What's
keep
your next
going with your
question
stuff, my
you
dude.
want to ask about bathroom etiquette?
I don't know if this even applies to women's restrooms. So boys, attendance, thoughts,
Attendance?
So I actually
like
I don't
bathroom attendants,
particularly
like
care
people
for
who
that.
stand in the bathroom to facilitate whatever your needs may be.
have 'em.
I
They
see what
have
you're
'em.
saying. Like the little guys with a little hat, and they're like
They're not
like,
usually dressed like
No.
that, but yeah.
they do like in the movies. They do,
Yeah, like in the movies.
and they're
Or
like
at the
they're
gentlemen's
replenishing
clubs.
the hand towels. Like they're actually like terry cloth towels in
Yeah,
a
or-
basket on the.
Specifically, I'm thinking of once when I was in San Francisco at a theater, there was one, and because there were like so many people and so few bathrooms and such small bathrooms, that he was standing in the front of the bathroom and people would line up with him, and then he would point out the open spots for you, essentially.
He was
Even-
an usher
kind of,
to
yeah.
the bathroom.
A bathroom usher. Even though we could all see it, it didn't make a lot of sense. Like you could see if something was open, but then he had like a thing where he would like wait an appropriate amount of time for you to go to use whatever you needed. But this is just like a person you had to say whether or not you had to pee or shit to. Like, because he would ask, he'd be like,
One or two.
well, it was kind of like urinals on one side, thing on the other, and so he'd kind of motion to one or the other. Like,
oh my god,
So
that is fucking weird.
I've only seen bathroom attendants in 2 places my entire life. And I actually have a skit I will eventually do about this. But I've only seen them at really rich places. Like
Yeah, of course.
expensive
Yeah,
places.
that's all they are in really rich places.
Or
Yeah, but it's good for the economy, right?
Or the other
job.
place, and I almost understand this, and I'm going to tell you why. The other place is most gentlemen clubs have them. So most strip clubs have them. And I believe the reason they have them in the strip clubs is to make sure dudes aren't jerking off.
You just reminded me of the topic that I forgot is that I've been in workplaces, and in fact, I just had a coworker tell me a story about a male gentleman that she had working for him that was like 19 years old, and he was like retiring to the bathroom like 5 times a day and was in there for an exorbitant amount of time. And I think we can all assume what it is that he was doing in there.
I had a friend who his whole thing was he had to, if he came over to your house, he would masturbate in the bathroom.
That is fucked.
And he was also he called himself a connoisseur of pornography.
Oh my God.
And he would be like, yeah, no, like I just was in your bathroom and I just
splooged.
Fapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we know this person?
He's like, I do it to all of my friends, so consider yourself one of the lucky ones.
Oh my God.
That was his whole thing.
Do we know him?
No.
All right, good.
No, this was high school. I don't know that I'd be able to get him on the show.
I wasn't even asking for that. I just want to make sure the dude doesn't come over the house.
Yeah,
You're saying come over like
that you're not fucking using the bathroom.
Yeah,
you go piss outside if you need to fucking piss.
Yeah. No, that's not happening.
No.
I just need to check.
Hey, we all do it, right?
Yeah,
so,
I get it, and I don't
bathroom.
judge masturbation, but Jesus fucking Christ, dude! Like there's okay. On a whole other topic of podcast, etiquette with masturbation.
We will talk about that. That will be in the next couple
God.
episodes. Shh.
Yes.
All right, Nick.
What's your next bit? My
Okay,
dude?
so the next two aren't necessarily like a weird thing, whatever. But okay, so here's the first one, right? It's just like the idea of if you walk into a bathroom, right, like a public bathroom especially, and you're like going to a toilet, right? You go to the last stall because it's habit. And you see that it's horribly wrecked, like it is unusable and someone has done a serious crime here. And then someone else comes in and you have to leave that stall and be like, hey, that you want them to know, hey, I'm in this with you. I didn't do this. Please, for the love of
Yes,
God.
absolutely. I've done
Totally.
that. Or if it even smells like, nope, just hey, heads up, don't go into that one.
Yeah,
And
but
they're
the
like,
heads
okay,
up,
thanks.
the heads up doesn't tell them you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well,
The
I
heads
guess
up
for
sounds
women it's
incriminating.
different. And then, can you say that when you're past the sink line, the Mendoza line?
Yes, you can say that.
Oh,
And
that's a caviat, and that's that could contingency
but
upon
even
the
then,
rule.
I don't necessarily even say anything. I just give them the like ugh. Like that,
Don't
like,
go in there, man.
he just made the funniest face ever.
I got a good story about that too.
He made the shaggy face of like he just got scared.
Like, yeah, Shaggy and Scoop. Yeah. Like blended into
So
one.
my really good friend Party.
Party?
He goes by Party on.
With a D or
so I'm
with
going to
a
talk about a
T?
lot of my friends with their like gamer tags. So my good friend Party tells a really good story about how one time he went to a mall bathroom and he opens up the stall and there was, as he describes it, an anaconda coiled in the pool.
Yeah, I've seen that shit.
In a perfect coil.
From South Park.
It was huge. He's like, I don't understand how anyone could push that much out of their asshole.
And, like,
he's
in a
like,
perfect
he's like,
coil,
you're looking
too,
in the
no
toilet,
less.
and he's like, it's art.
I'm jealous.
And I was like, did you use it? Did you flush it? And he's like, no, I'm not going to destroy art. I went to the next stall.
I have to admit, I'm actually jealous because I can't do anything close to that anymore.
My first job when I was like 16 and working full time because I actually graduated high school at 16. I tested out, but it was at a thrift store. And I remember one time there was in our one public restroom, not an anaconda, but it was literally like, I think this happened in a comedy movie and you guys might be able to figure out which one it was. I can't remember what it was, but it literally was that. It was explosive. Like it was like on the fucking ceiling. It was on the walls. And I remember our janitor like going in there and going like, what the fuck?
Oh.
And like he literally, I'm not even kidding. Like, okay, so this is like the thrift store world. You keep a hazmat suit in the back just in case because certain type of folks go into thrift stores, i.e. like homeless and tweakers and whoever knows what else to use the bathroom. And they do. And it was like, it literally was the most disgusting thing that I've ever fucking heard. Like he described it and I know he was in there for like hours trying to clean that shit up. Literally cleaning the shit up.
Ugh. On that note, I'm sorry, I got a question for you all. Do you ever show people your masterpieces?
Never.
You've never shown anyone your
Never.
masterpiece?
It's gonna be a hard no. Might describe it, but
Right. No.
Okay.
and it's usually if it's like a bad or I'm like, hey,
All right.
something happened.
How about you, Jason? You ever show anyone your
First
masterpiece?
of all, I'm trying to think if Sophia.
Jason paints with watercolors is what he's trying to say here.
So I do.
But pre 2006.
I do paint with watercolor.
He's Bob Ross.
Hold on.
Look at that happy turn.
All right. So I do paint with watercolors, but I will say that when I was getting sick, and only when I was getting sick, and I'll tell you till this day I don't lock the bathroom because if I have a problem.
Bullshit. Yes, you do. You lock the bathroom every time you take a shit. I try to go in there and I'm like, I don't fucking care. I need to wash my hands. And you're like, it's locked.
Oh yeah. So
No,
yeah.
you lock the bathroom every fucking time.
Not. So if I'm feeling bad, I don't lock the bathroom. You may not know that, but when I
Well,
feel
that would be nice to know, so then I'd be able to pick up on the cue that you're not feeling good.
well, no, I don't want you. I still don't want you to come in. Like, that's
No,
not-
but that
it's not
gives
an
me a
invitation.
heads up to know that,
When I
like,
leave it
you're not
unlocked-
okay.
When I leave it unlocked, it's because I don't feel good and I know that potentially I could be having a medical problem. I need some assistance. But that's not
he's
the point.
not the excellent communicator, folks.
That's not the point. I don't want you to worry. I don't discuss it. Anyway, that's not the point. When I was getting sick and like I didn't know what was going on before I had my surgery, before I was diagnosed, I would show. I had a partner who I was with a long time. I'd show my partner because I didn't know what was going on. I think I showed my mom once. Because,
You're like, look at this. Is this
because-
normal?
Right, yeah, I know, because what it
this
is.
right?
So initially when I got sick, the red in the bowl was really dark. If you get dark red in the bowl, go see a fucking doctor. So
Yeah. Unless you ate
So-
a bag
Yeah,
of
but
cheese.
that would
Right.
have been like
So
more
here's the good
orangey
news.
red, like
All
pink,
right.
apparently.
No,
like,
it was dark
All right.
red.
what was dark?
boys and
The
girls,
dark deed is dark red.
boys and girls, I'm going to give you a quick lesson. So if you shit in a bowl and you see blood in it and it's bright, you're safe. It's probably something you have to take care of, like hemorrhoids. But if you see dark red or close to black,
that's
tarry
deep
shit,
and internal.
that is
Oh.
100% true. It is.
It's like internal bile, not
It's
like the
80
yellow bile.
It's not even bile. It's just straight. You got old blood that you're getting out. So when I wasn't sure what that was, yeah, I had people.
But
look at
ladies,
it.
not if it comes out of your vagina every month, because that's a normal occurrence.
Yes, that's
for
a normal
us.
occurrence. So yes. So anyway, so yes, at that time when I was getting sick and trying to figure shit out, yeah, I'd have either the person I was with, and it was the same person, or I think I actually had my mom look once. But that's it. I was never like, wow, I'm so proud of this. Did I?
I'm
And
so
I won't
proud
deny.
of this.
Well, do I not deny walking out of the bathroom and being like, you should have seen the shit I took. Absolutely, because it was funny. And I won't deny while working security for many moons ago that, like, maybe across the radio you may have heard a flush or listened to somebody take a crap while they were doing it in an empty bathroom so other people could hear. But beyond that, no, I've never like been like, oh, look at this.
I got a good story about that for another time. But my brother one time.
Wait,
so I
Ashton,
haven't
who
done
we've
it
had on
personally.
before, or your other brother?
No,
Nashon.
Nashon.
Okay.
He's a year younger than me, a year and 6 months. And like one time, we were young. I must have been like 6 or 7. He was like 5 or 6. He comes out of the bathroom and he's like, "Come look at this." And so I go.
He did a waving hand thing,
and-
like a really like get the hell over here kind of
Like,
thing.
or a,
Yeah, he's
either
like,
that
"Come
or
look
a
at this. Come look at this."
hither.
Like he just made a mass. Like he just made like Picasso.
Jesus
Anyway.
Christ.
So I go in there. There's no toilet paper in there
Oh my
either.
God.
And like there's this S in there. And it's like a perfect S, but like the top is flat. Like a cobra. And it even has like a little head. So he
Where it
like
was like pinched.
it started flat and then like swooped into like I was like normally like especially at that age, even then I would have been like, but like I was like,
Dude, that's cool.
You were impressed.
hey, good one. Anyway, go on, my friend.
Okay, I will say I've never actually like with shit, but I'm not. I will admit this. There was one time where I did actually get my period, and there was like one perfect droplet of blood that fell in the toilet, and it created like this like I don't even know how to describe it. Like watercolor, like this really like cool pattern in the water of the toilet bowl. Like it wasn't on the seat or anything. Like, it legitimately fell in the middle, and I was like, that looks fucking cool. And I took a picture of it on my phone. I don't have that picture anymore because I lost that phone in Mexico with the SD card. But it was fucking cool. Like, it looked cool. Like, if I were to crop it and you couldn't see the toilet seat in it, you'd be like, wow, what a neat thing. What is that? And be like, my period blood. Like, yeah, that came out of my
We're
vagina.
going to have to do an episode where we talk about, like, artists and period blood.
Oh, and then Georgia O'Keeffe references, and yes.
We'll talk about it. Anyway, what's next,
Okay, so
my
you already
dude?
mentioned the other one. What happens if there's no paper? Have you ever had that happen? Like in public?
Toilet seat covers.
Yep, toilet seat covers.
Toilet seat covers.
Yeah.
All the way.
Reach
Toilet
for
seat
it.
covers.
Anything becomes usable at that point in time.
Clothing? Is there, you draw a line there?
No,
So
not
did
clothing.
Your sock.
Did I make a joke
sock.
about a sock earlier? That may have not have been a joke at one time.
And then throw it away afterwards.
Yes, throw it away. And when you throw your
Have
shit,
you ever gotten so desperate that you've used like the toilet paper roll itself?
No.
No. Have you, Shay? I figured you did. That's why you asked.
I never thought that far ahead, but
Oh
I
my
have.
God, I haven't either. That's never even
I've used a
occurred
sock.
to me.
I have used my underwear and just dumped it. So if you are going to do that,
And he
be
freeballed
courteous.
it after.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to do that, fucking bury it in the trash. Like, no one needs to see that shit on the
Yeah,
top.
no,
Bury it in
sure,
the trash.
sure. Yeah.
Nah, leave it up top.
Oh
show
my
it.
God.
Show it off. Let everyone know.
No.
that
Put your
you had a
initials
problem.
on the waistband.
I've done.
Your initials.
I've done.
Well, my mom initials all of my underwears anyway.
I've done underwear, but I didn't go nuclear option and just take them off. I just ripped the bottom of the legs off.
I feel like that's nuclear.
Oh my God.
So you wear boxers
Yeah.
then?
Wow, that's hilarious.
So I was just essentially wearing shorts when I left.
Okay, all right.
They were tidy whities
You didn't
when I
see-
was done with it.
Did you forget you had hair pants? Because you could just take those things off and you'd be fine.
He like whacks a piece of his leg hair and just be like, whoop, I'm good.
No, my point is he could just have used the toilet paper. He has hair pants anyway.
my
Or he could have used the underwear. He has hair pants anyway. He's all good.
Okay, I have a super embarrassing story, and I can't believe I'm even fucking telling this on air. So one time, Jason and I wanted to go and drive up and watch the sunset, as sappy fucking romantics how we are, right? So we drive up, we found this beautiful like place to like go and look at it, and I'm like, we're in like totally like just wasteland, right? Like it's just on a cliff, it's like in the foothills, like no place in sight. And I'm like, I have to take a piss. And I'm like, no, like I like really have to take a piss, like to the point of where it's like hurting, like my bladder is going to explode, like I have to piss. And so I'm like, fuck it. And mind you, like we're pulled off like on like a little like side thing to pull over on a highway, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go and pick a bush and I'm just gonna fucking take a piss. So I go and I do it, and I'm not very good at it, admittedly, and it gets all over my feet. My flip-flops. And I'm like, fuck.
flip-flops,
Oh,
too.
well, hey, at
All
least
over
they were
your toes.
flip-flops and they weren't like
Yeah, having
in
socks
a
would have been way
fucking,
worse.
yeah, shoes, like socks and shoes, or like tennis shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, or a fucking pair of heels.
Shoes are waterproof. Like if you had, just gotten it on the socks, it would have been so much
Yeah,
worse.
so
See, but if you had Doc Martens on, it'd make the Doc Martens
yeah,
better.
but we already established that Gen Xers, your Doc Martens aren't cool. Anyway,
Okay.
so I like go back to Jason and I'm like, we need to go. And he's like, why? It's beautiful. It's the sunset. And I'm like, no, dude, like I have piss all over my feet right now. And he's like, okay, all right, let's go. So we go down to a fucking gas station. Like, and actually surprisingly, luckily it was very close. It was just right down the hill. And I'm literally in the bathroom stall and I have my feet in the goddamn sink, like with the soap, like the hand soap, like, and I'm like rubbing it all over my feet. I take my flip flops off and I'm like scrubbing them and washing them and shit. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm never doing that again. It was awful.
So Nick has a dumpster. You have
A bush.
A bush, which seems like it shouldn't be that weird.
Next to a beautiful sunset. Like I'm
Shay?
saying, it's you
I've
guys
got
have
a
it easy.
Suburban.
We
Shay?
don't have it easy for that.
Shay, what do you got?
So when I was when I just turned 21, I went to Utah to slam dance with some friends because we made a film that made it in with the Fusion Doc Challenge, and so yeah, I just did sound.
Yes, that's awesome. It's a coup. Good for you.
I just turned 21, so drinking was now a thing that I was very into. And we went to the bars, and the bars in Utah suck. They don't,
yeah,
there's
you're
not
like
a lot of
Mormonville.
Yeah, they suck. But everyone was giving me their free drink coupons because one of them had a wife that he wanted to keep happy, so he didn't drink, and then the other one was like starting to wane off of drinking
Again,
anyway.
Mormons.
And then one of them didn't
We have
really
nothing
like
against Mormons here.
gin
Dude,
that
I
much.
come from a family of all Mormons. You can actually look me up. My
I'm
actual
sorry, we'll
legitimate
talk
last
about
name
that.
is a
Sorry-
Mormon last
sorry
name.
to
Sorry,
interrupt.
Shay. Go ahead. I'm just saying I
It's
can't
okay.
be prejudiced.
That's sad. We'll talk about Mormonism.
Oh, yes, we will.
Not today.
I can't
Not
wait.
today.
Yeah, hail Satan.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I'm pissed. I'm drunk, and I have to pee really bad. And I was like, "Wait, guys, I gotta pee." And we're in the parking garage, and they're like, "Oh, just go right here. Go on the." So I was like, "All right, well, like, I mean, I kind of grew up in the country a bit, so like pissing outside's no big deal." And so I'm pissing on the concrete or whatever, and they start backing out, and so I'm just standing there pissing, and they're laughing. And then like there's a couple of people walking up, going to their cars, and they're just like standing there pointing and laughing at me.
They set you up, man. That's fucked up.
Lucky for me, I was too drunk to care.
Yeah, that's the place to
I just
be,
laughed
man.
about it and got in the car. But if I was not too drunk to care, that would probably be a traumatizing event that happened in my life that I would sometimes sit and just be like, "Hello, darkness."
Okay, so I have.
Because they definitely saw my dick.
We'll be,
At 21.
loud
and
and
it
proud,
was
my friend.
flaccid.
So before I got,
I'm a griller, not a chiller.
that's my line, buddy. That's my line.
I can attest to that.
Whoa, come on. So obvious. So if you here, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I will never talk about my dick size because I think it's inappropriate. I will never say I have a big dick. I always say I'll have a medium dick. But look at pictures of Sophia and then wonder why she's with me as an older man. And I will leave it at that.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Then I will give you one story of before I was sick. I was in high school and I was going over to my buddy's house. I wasn't even going to his house. I think I was going to work. And he was always home, and I had to take the biggest shit I could imagine. Like I was dying. I was doing the cup in the butt thing.
You were prairie dogging?
Oh yeah, I was a turtling. So the head was sticking out, and I was panicking like a motherfucker. So the way his house was set up is that he lived in a condo. His mom had the upper bedroom for the third floor. Then he had a middle floor, which was like a second floor from one side, and from the other side it would be just the regular floor. And then he had the bottom floor, which is almost like a basement. So it was like an apartment or condo up on top of like ivy. There's a ton of ivy in Southern California to keep things from burning. And I don't even think it was there for that, but it's just what was there. It was this fucking ivy.
Okay.
Ivy and some bushes, and his balcony was on ground level. So I'm fucking running over there. I'm pounding on the fucking front door.
So it's a patio. You don't have a balcony on a ground level.
It was. I guess it was
a balcony implies that it's above ground level. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
overlooking. So it's a patio.
it was on ground level on a hill that went down to a sidewalk.
Oh, okay, got you. I got you. So it was like on stilts. Gotcha.
Sort of, not really. But anyway, I'll say it was a patio. It doesn't fucking matter. So I'm panicking. I'm pounding on the back door. Or on the front door. I run around. I hop this fucking little fence. I'm pounding on the back door in his glass door. No one's fucking answering. I'm about to lose it. It was probably about 10 o'clock at night. I do a quick left, look right, drop trowel on the hill, and just let it all go.
Was that on someone's property line?
No, it was technically nobody's it was like the apartment complex's property line, but the apartment complex like was further back up the hill, so technically no, it was not anybody's property line.
Oh my God.
But like I shit a lot. Like it was
Jesus
a
Christ.
lot.
What did you use to wipe with, Jason?
Honestly, my love, I think I used the sock.
I think I need to break up with you.
I think
As
I
one does.
left the sock there.
That's even worse.
Like
Your sinister calling card.
I think
exactly.
I was I want to say I was like 16 or 17, but I'll never forget. Like I was so panicked while it was going on, but I had to go. So yeah,
Oh my
that's what I did.
God.
Okay.
So you reminded me of a line in Tenacious D where he goes, drop trow and push out a Cleveland steamer. When I say that to my girlfriend, like, drop trow and push out a Cleveland steamer. She gets really upset with me.
It's because you have the nicest girlfriend in the fucking world.
Don't talk about that.
She shouldn't even know what a Cleveland steamer is.
Right.
I'm surprised she knows what sex is. Like she is an innocent, beautiful lady. That is your.
That's
that is.
No, I wouldn't say innocent. She's just sweet. She's
very-
sweet
she's
and
very
she's
sweet.
very nice. I wouldn't say innocent. She's just sweet.
All right.
Okay, I have the last one, so we can kind of end on this because it's kind of silly. But I can't believe it hasn't come up. Is bathroom graffiti?
Oh Jesus!
Anyone got any particularly great bathroom graffiti?
I can tell you,
I've seen a lot of good stuff.
You just scarred me. Nick. So the reason why he scarred me, and somebody has to tell a story after this, but I have to tell a story because I was thinking about mentioning it on this one. The first time I dealt with racism was bathroom graffiti. I can tell you the hotel. It was the Beverly, what's that famous one in?
The Beverly Hills Hotel?
Yeah, I was at the Beverly
Yeah,
Hills.
the pink one?
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Hotel.
I was
Yeah.
at the Beverly
or
Hills-
Hotel Bel Air. That's the only two pink ones.
I was at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I was at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I think I was like maybe 9 years old, maybe younger. And I went in the restroom and there was a swastika scraped into the wall.
Oh, no.
And it said, "Fuck
No,
Jews."
G-boy.
And I think that I left the bathroom stall and I cried to my mom because I couldn't understand why people would do that.
Not like
So yeah, no, that
gets
was
me in the feels. Man.
yeah, that was a little feels. That one actually, I'll never fucking forget that. I didn't understand why people like had to be mean. It didn't make any sense to me, especially like, and it's a fucked up thought at that age. But especially in a high-end hotel, you'd think they would make sure that shit was never
Yeah, you'd
around.
think like the common perception of affluent people is that they should know better, but they fucking don't.
Yeah, no, it was I would say that has always stuck with me through life. So
that's sad.
I would appreciate if you guys had some funny graffiti stories.
I have two pretty good ones.
Okay,
So
good.
here's
Thank you,
the
Nick.
other thing is I also think that the fact that we all have like phones now means that people aren't bored in the bathroom, and so there's less of it. Like, right?
Take
That
that,
sounded
boomers who
very
hate cell
familiar.
phones.
Shay.
Did you happen to visit a law firm?
You ever
Now
been
you can just find your hate speech online.
So the one I just really liked because it was so random was I went to a bathroom like on some rest stop when we were going to like the Bay Area, and we stopped, and this like gas station bathroom had basically been destroyed enough where there was no stall door, like there were no doors on anything, and then there was the urinals, but one of the urinals was just off and it had fallen down.
Oh
So
my
it was like
God.
unusable, and you could just see the pipes. And then, so the only one you had to use was one that was like facing away from where the rest of the urinals would be, kind of like facing the door.
It's like perpendicular, basically.
Yeah, perpendicular. But if the other one didn't exist anymore, and so, and so there was for some reason like one of those little like block of mirror. And someone had somehow done it where you couldn't see it when you first walked in. But if you stood in the urinal and looked at it, you could see the back wall where one of the doors should have been for the stall. And
So
it
in
just
case
said,
like you don't get jumped.
maybe, I don't know. But the point is that someone had written the correct way so you could read it in the mirror. Read a book when you were just looking in the.
Shut
like,
up! Oh my God, that's
and then,
awesome.
The
That's
other
amazing.
one was just so silly because it took so much work. Is I think I was in like a park bathroom or something like that, and someone had taken in Sharpie right when you sat down. It said look behind you or something like that. And so I did what you do, and I turned around to look, and right behind me, like I did really crane for it, written on like the little device, like the actual like metal part of the plumbing, it said look down. And so I was like, ooh, and then I looked down around the toilet, and someone had written on like the base of the Portland where, yeah, exactly. Like written near one of the bolts that held the toilet down, right? It said, look up. And I was like, and I looked up.
He slowly looked up.
And okay, so here's
this
the other
is
thing.
Methodical.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And here's the thing. There was a message on the roof.
On the ceiling, you mean?
Yes. Well, this is like one of those park bathrooms where it's vaulted.
It's vaulted, yeah.
So someone went through a lot of trouble to get up there, and all they wrote was, hey, period.
Oh my god. That's very clever. Very
But they
clever.
have to have somehow
It's just like
scaled.
I wonder
the
how
walls.
many people they got.
Park bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Meth. All right.
Oh my god, park bathrooms are the
I don't know. That
worst, guys.
sounds like
the ones
an
where,
English major.
Yeah, right. The park bathrooms are the worst. Are the ones where there's just like the hole in the ground, and you go.
Oh yeah,
It's
like
terrible.
Like when we go on those rafting trips, there's that one bathroom where it's just the hole.
Or the beach, like my favorite spot at the beach is the same thing. Like I cannot go in those bathrooms. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's like a nature thing. So that when we go down the river, there's a stop, and it's one of the bathrooms. Is you have to hike up to it, and it's on a hill, so that you do your business down into this like man-made
that's
hill
actually
thing.
Smart, yeah.
Yeah, but it has nothing other than I think toilet paper there. And then
God.
after you do your dark deed, you have to throw wood chips in it so it'll like
subside the smell.
to try and get rid of
basically.
like the smell and stuff, so it'll like compost or whatever.
Dude, okay, all right. I have one really quick story I got to add to this. Okay, so I was driving back for Arizona in the summertime. Dumb fucking move. And I'm driving from Arizona into California, and we're in Barstow. And there's nothing around, and we all were like, fuck, I got to take a piss. Stop at a truck stop. They didn't have any bathrooms. It was a line. And I'm sure like anybody that's been out there has probably seen this. It was a line of like 25 porta potties. Like not even kidding. It was a huge, exorbitant amount. And they were all being used. Like everybody and their mother was going on a road trip at this time. And it's probably about 102 degrees. So I let you actually imagine the smell of a porta potty, or actually 25 porta potties and 102 heat.
You've met me. You know my bathroom.
Oh
bathroom
no,
problems.
darling.
Believe me when I say I've been in those porta potties.
Dude, I literally like I don't know how I did it. Like I think that I just squatted and went like so quick, and I like held my breath the entire time and was like, let's get the fuck out of here. Like I had to piss so bad. Like if I didn't have to piss so bad, I would never have done that, but it was so terrible. Like even on your worst day, Jason, this is incomparable to what this smell was. It was like death, man. It was awful.
I guess what I'm saying is I've been to areas where it's been 102 and there's a ton of porta potties, and because I have no choice, I have used them.
You got to do what you got to do. The dark deed has to be done.
So we've talked a lot today about some bathroom etiquette, and I guarantee at some point there will be a part 2. It may be a week from now, it may be months from now, but this is a topic that I am very passionate about, and we will continue to talk about.
There may be even a part 3.
There
I mean,
might.
This might be split up into three parts already. We'll see.
No way. We're gonna make those fools. We're gonna make those fools listen to this. If you can do it, Shay. He does do the editing for the entire podcast.
30 minutes of BS
That's
always
what it
turns into an hour of BS, but
Except
that's
this
okay.
this is gonna be closer to 2 hours. Let's go around the room, see if anybody has anything to plug. Hey Nick, you got anything you want anybody to look at?
It'll be a hard no.
Plug.
You got nothing? All right. He
Don't
just said,
go
yeah.
to his law firm because you might find the guy.
Yeah,
You're not allowed anyway. So good luck getting in the building.
So I'll just tell him I know you. Sophia,
Yeah, some very actually cool things in the works. I can't exactly disclose everything that's happening because it's still in the works, but hopefully I might have some really exciting personal news to be able to come out with by our next episode. So stay tuned if any of you actually care. And yeah, to plug, don't plug it up. And as the definition of bathroom etiquette goes, like, leave it in the condition that you would want to leave it in. So the golden bathroom rule. That's the moral of the story, kids.
Shay, I'll just remind you have a page you need to plug and
Can we stop using the word plug?
No, I like plug.
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 All right.
It's like moist
you have
plug.
a meme page to plug, and do you have anything to plug beyond that?
I don't remember. There was something, but I don't remember.
Right is
That
mine.
is staying in here. Do not edit that shit out.
In fairness, Shay just moved and went through like a big ordeal. So like, yeah, you're okay to have your brain fried
It was
right
a
now.
pain.
Like, it's forgivable.
I'm taking like a couple weeks to just like recover. Anyway, I'd
for
like
y'all.
to plug the 30 Minutes of BS podcast. It's great. And thanks for being on the show, man. It's been great having you on.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, man,
Thanks
it
for
was
joining
awesome.
You're
us.
welcome.
You are invited back anytime you want to come on, as long as we have enough mics.
And don't let your IBS stink up our bathroom.
Oh, you stop now. Don't worry,
kidding.
buddy.
I'm kidding.
We got poopery.
We got
you
Yes,
can-
I saw
Oh,
that.
fuck, we didn't even talk about that. That
Oh,
shit's
no.
amazing, folks. If
Part
we can-
two.
Yeah, hey, no, we need to like get on Himalaya or whatever and like tell them to give us a sponsorship and we will plug poopery, man. Like poopery for all your pooping
my
needs.
girlfriend's mom uses that.
Dude, it works, man.
Listen, I
It
asked
really
I
does.
asked for it for Christmas, and
And I
Sophia
got
thought
it.
Sophia thought I was kidding, and I was totally she's like, "I'll get it as a gag gift." I'm like, "This is the best shit ever."
And then I realized it really is the best shit ever.
So I'm gonna
Or
tell
the
you
best
something
lack
about
of
that.
shit
Yeah.
ever.
Have you ever gone to a porta potty and you know that smell? Poopery has the same smell. So I cannot dissociate like poopery.
You're not getting the
from a-
right scent
No,
of it then.
no. It
Yeah.
all has that like septic smell. You can smell that like septic.
Nope.
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 Nope, you're using the wrong stuff.
You
then,
haven't
buddy.
gone into a
No.
bathroom that Jason's ever
They
used.
they use all the different brands of it, and it all smells like a septic tank. Like not like the shit part of the septic tank, but the stuff they use to make a septic tank not smell like shit. It's the same
Dude,
shit.
go into a fucking senior living home and assisted living and memory care, dude. Like, seriously.
No.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
You
is
don't
like
even know about
poopery smells like the stuff that comes in a septic tank to like make it not smell like shit.
And since I don't use a septic tank, I'm not worried about it.
That's
But-
very true. I only use
Or
a septic tank.
it's
in
the same
middle of
stuff
nowhere.
inside a porta potty. Like if you smell that like weird sweet smell. Now
I
you're
don't know.
not gonna
I think the
unsmell
stuff
it.
works. I would sponsor it
let's-
on our
I'd
30 minutes of
Sponsor
BS
it too. It's
podcast.
great,
Poopery.
especially with like some of the ones that they rip in there. But like I know.
You know that smell.
I particularly like the lemon scent.
Well, I'm not gonna
Or maybe
talk them up until
the
they give us money.
Lavender
So.
vanilla.
All right. This might be one of the worst tangents we've ever gone on. So
Not really.
With that,
It's bathroom etiquette.
I'm going to take some time to thank our audience for listening.
I gotta go take a shit.
All right, no problem.
That joke.
You go take a shit. We will come back with more bullshit in another week. We will be dropping either dropping
Dropping and plugging.
dropping our bullshit.
This is the 2 hour of shit podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, the
We
2
will
hour
be
shit
dropping.
podcast.
We can't even close out, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my-
So we'll be dropping our episodes either they will come out Sunday night, Monday morning. If you want to reach us at 30-minute BS podcast gmail.com, we will be glad to answer. We are on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere else you can find
And
us.
download us on Himalaya.
Yeah,
And
Himalaya
please,
is like
please.
the best place if you want to help
Please
us.
contribute to Shay's Possessed New Car Fund.
Yes,
It,
we
it's
need
been
Shane
running
needs
really
a new
good
car.
lately, actually.
Good.
Did you exercise it?
I changed the,
power of
oil
Christ
and
compels
like
it.
and then like I unplugged the battery and replugged the battery, and now
See,
it runs
maybe it just
better than
needed
ever.
to take a big shit.
There you
But
go.
I mean,
The
I
car needed to
changed
take
my
a
oil
big
every
shit.
3 months, and I
all right. So,
Anyway.
Again,
We can't close it.
we'd like to thank you all for listening. Keep it up. We love you. Write into us, bitch about us. We don't care. Tell us your bullshit. We'll talk about it. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye, world.
Wow!